Carbon Dino Basketball on 95.3 The Peak. Welcome to the Carbon Dino pregame show on KRPX 95.3 The Peak. Brought to you by Landon's Diesel Service. Leave your truck in the hands of those who know diesel engines. Landon's Diesel Service at 540 South 300 West in Price. And now for tonight's play-by-play, let's join Sonny Buscarini.
Hello and welcome out to beautiful Carbon High School here on KRPX 95.3 The Peak. We are moments away from watching your Carbon Dinos take on the Wildcats of South Summit. Hi, everybody. Aiden Mortensen along with you for the ride today as the Lady Dinos take the court for a non-region showdown against South Summit. Now, the Lady Dinos are returning from a grueling three-day tournament down in southern Utah. The Lady Dinos return to Jurassic Park for a rematch of last year's thrilling double overtime playoff showdown against South Summit. Now, these two teams are very different than what we were seeing last year. Both teams remain hungry for a win. The Wildcats are going to be without star center Emma Broadbent, who graduated and is now playing volleyball at Southern Virginia College. Her 20-point, 20-rebound efforts are sorely missed as the Wildcats are 0-5 on the young season, and that's in part due to the young age of this roster. Two seniors taking the court this season for the Wildcats, only returning 5 points per game from last season, leading to a lot of young players needing to step up in a major way for South Summit. The Dinos, on the other hand, sit at 3-7 on the year, and they are coming off the Southern Utah Classic down in St. George, where they went 1-2, which included a 65-50 win over Hunter and a 9-point loss to defending 3A champs Canyon View. Very hotly contested games for the Lady Dinos over the weekend, and you got to look at some of the players who are going to be taking the court tonight for Carbon, who had a spectacular weekend, namely you're going to have to look at the likes of Kayla Jones on the season, putting up about 4.5 a night, but she is a sharpshooter from beyond the arc. When she gets going, my goodness, you better watch out and you better guard her because she is going to make you pay from range. The thing about the Dinos that really stands out this season is that they are a very balanced effort. You look at the rotation of this team. Coach Blank, in entering his second year, does an excellent job in keeping fresh legs on the floor, running about a 10 to 13 player rotation early on throughout the season, leading to a lot of scoring, but you're going to need all these players contributing when you run such a aggressive defense as Carbon does. You're going to be seeing a near constant full court press from the Dinos early on in this game. Forcing turnovers is their specialty, and one that's going to come in handy tonight as the Lady Wildcats on the year. 31.5 turnovers per game, an unsustainable number for South Summit. They just haven't been able to take care of the ball, and you can attribute that in part to the young age of this roster. Getting used to the varsity level is no easy task. It takes a lot to try and get used to the new game speed that you are seeing, but the Wildcats looking to put it together tonight against the Dinos. Turnovers also plaguing the Lady Dinos early on in the year. They're averaging 21 giveaways a night, but they do make up for it in part due to 11.6 steals per game. Thanks to that, again, relentless full court press in a defensive heavy scheme for Coach Blank. Shooting also been a struggle early on for the Lady Dinos, shooting 24% from the field and 18% from beyond the arc. Chrissy Jones leads the team in field goal percentage, shooting 33% per night. That goes alongside Chrissy's averages of 2.5 points per game, 75% from the free throw line. For South Summit, shooting stats fall very similar to what we're seeing from Carbon. South Summit shooting 26% overall with 20% accuracy on threes. Sophomore Sydney Crystal leads this category with 50% shooting, and Sydney has done an excellent job early on in the year, stepping up only a sophomore, averaging 6 points a night, shooting 67% from the charity stripe. She's one of those young leaders on this team who has stepped up in a major way, but when you're looking at South Summit, you're going to have to single out a few key players, one of them being Ashton Arnaud, the junior point guard, averaging 10.8 points per night, adding 74% from the line. She has been a force to be reckoned with. She's got the perfect mix of speed and shiftiness to get to the basket and make you pay on the drive. She also has a smooth flow from outside of the arc, something which the Dinos are going to have to look out for. Both teams in a very similar situation when it comes to substitution. You look at the rotations again, Dinos running about 10 to 13 deep each night. South Summit figuring about the same entering tonight's contest. It's going to be a fun one. And we're going to get back with some more stats from the starters, and we're going to preview what's upcoming for the Lady Dinos. You're listening to Carbon High School basketball right here on 95.3 The Peak and on YouTube at KOA or at Castle Country Radio Carbon. This is where the Dinos play. This is where you need to be. We'll be right back.
At Landon's Diesel, they understand the heartbeat of your diesel truck. Whether it's the rig that powers your livelihood or the everyday vehicle that drives your life, the trained technicians at Landon's Diesel are here to keep you rolling. Plus, with 24-hour towing service, support's just a call away, anytime, day or night. Drive into Landon's Diesel for expert care tailored to you and your truck, because when your diesel needs expertise, Landon's Diesel is always here.
At A Perfect Smile, they specialize in transforming your smile with precision and care. From porcelain veneers and dental implants to orthodontics, crowns, and bridges, their expertise covers every aspect of general and cosmetic dentistry. Dr. Jackson and his team are here to address even the most challenging dental concerns, helping you achieve a smile you'll love. Ready for a smile makeover? Call A Perfect Smile today, 637-2100, to schedule an appointment.
Looking for the perfect mattress? We've got you covered. At Bill's Home Furnishings, we have the largest selection of mattresses in eastern Utah, including the highly rated Serta Perfect Sleeper. And when it comes to price, we're competitive with anywhere in the state. But we're more than just mattresses. From quality furniture and home accessories to reliable appliances, we've got everything you need to make your house a home. Stop by Bill's Home Furnishings today, where selection, savings, and service meet. Right here in eastern Utah.
Looking for financial solutions? At Cache Valley Bank, they're here to help. Whether you need commercial loans, mortgages, or expert financial advising, they've got you covered. Visit them today on the corner of First West and Main Street. Cache Valley Bank, your partner in financial success.
Equal housing lender, member FDIC. When your comfort is on the line, trust the experts who care. At Air Temp Heating and Cooling, we've been dedicated to keeping Castle Country cozy since 1999. Our certified technicians are ready with 24/7 emergency service and the latest knowledge in heating and cooling technology. As a proud Bryant authorized dealer, we'll do whatever it takes to ensure your home or business stays comfortable year-round. Call Air Temp Heating and Cooling today at 637-4468.
At Castle Country Vet, they believe every pet deserves a touch of love and expert care. You can trust Dr. Harmer and Dr. Kelly. They're not just veterinarians, but passionate pet lovers, dedicated to nurturing your furry friends like family. From routine checkups to emergency interventions, you and your pet will experience compassionate, professional care every step of the way. Let Castle Country Vet help your pets lead the happiest, healthiest lives. Call Castle Country Vet today, 637-5797, because love is a four-legged word.
At Landon's Diesel, they understand the heartbeat of your diesel truck. Whether it's the rig that powers your livelihood or the everyday vehicle that drives your life, the trained technicians at Landon's Diesel are here to keep you rolling. Plus, with 24-hour towing service, support's just a call away, anytime, day or night. Drive into Landon's Diesel for expert care tailored to you and your truck, because when your diesel needs expertise, Landon's Diesel is always here.
Carbon Dino basketball continues on 95.3 The Peak.
Welcome back to 95.3 The Peak, as well as our viewing audience over on Castle Country Radio Carbon, your home for Dinos Athletics, as we are moments away from tip-off here at Jurassic Park as your Lady Dinos prepare to take on the Wildcats of South Summit High School in a non-region showdown. Starters are in for both of these two teams, and we'll start by taking a look at South Summit. Wearing number 2 and standing at 5'11", the junior guard, Emery Wolstenhume, averaging about 3 points a night. Wearing number 3, the senior, standing at 5'8", the guard forward, Javian Clegg, 3 points a night for the senior. Wearing number 10, we talked about her earlier, standing at 5'5", the junior point guard, pouring it in and leading this team in scoring, Ashton Arno. The sophomore, wearing number 15 and standing at 5'7", Sydney Crystal, averaging 5.8 points a night, and rounding out that starting 5 for South Summit. Wearing number 20, the senior shooting guard, standing at 5'6", averaging 4.8 points a night, Ruby Clegg. And now for your Lady Dinos, wearing number 2, the senior who can rein it in from beyond the arc, Emma Bowman. Wearing number 4, the junior point guard who's eager to get to the basket, Sarah Nelson. Wearing number 13, the sophomore soccer star turned basketball killer, Malia Smith. Wearing number 14, the senior point guard, shooting guard, averaging 6.5 points a night, Bailey Johnson. Wearing number 15 and rounding out the starting 5 for the Dinos, averaging 3.7 points per night, the junior, Blythe Bradford. A good starting 5 for the Lady Dinos as we are about 9 minutes and 45 seconds away from tip-off. We're going to take a look at some quick keys to the game for the Lady Dinos. Number 1, they are going to want to bring that defensive intensity. That's where they have made their mark early in the season. In the games we've seen the Dinos find success, it's mainly in part due to their defense. The full court pressure they can apply is relentless, and forcing turnovers from opposing defenses. They are a tough team to stop when they can get set up in that press. But on the opposite end of that, we need to see them succeed in the half court. If the Lady Dinos want to find success tonight, they're going to need to be able to slow the pace down once they cross that 10-second stripe, be able to execute well in the half court, move the ball around, find your shooters, find your players inside the paint, have them seek open opportunities. It's always a tough task when you're a fast-paced team to take that step back and slow it down, but it's something the Dinos have struggled with early on, and something if they want to find success, they're going to need to do. For South Summit, the biggest key, don't turn the ball over at as high a clip as you have this season, especially with the defense Carbon will be throwing your way. You got to be careful navigating that full court press. Coach Blank has it drawn up beautifully where one mistake is going to lead to an easy turnover. You need to carefully navigate the field, slow yourself down. They're going to try and force you to speed up. If you can avoid that, the better off you are going to be. Taking a look at what's upcoming for both of these two teams. For the Lady Dinos, rankings coming out December 19th, the first RPI rankings of the season, as we will see where they stand heading into region. But coming up for their next slate of games later this week on Thursday, they're making the trip down to South Sevier to face the Rams. Always a tall task. Then back on the road they go for showdowns against Ogden and Ben Lomond. Then they go into winter break and round out the 2025 slate with a showdown right here at Jurassic Park, a marquee matchup at 1:30 p.m. against the Pine View Panthers. A loaded slate for the Lady Dinos, and they've needed to pack it up due to the reduced region they do play in this year. Last season, region play started about this time of year, but now struggling to fill the early season schedule. It was a challenge early on, but Coach Blank did a good job booking tournaments and getting them ready to roll. For South Summit, after this, they're taking on Grand County, American Heritage, as well as Draper APA. So a fun little slate upcoming for both of these two squads. I'm excited to see how the Dinos perform in the remainder of the preseason, because once you get into region play, that's when the real challenge is going to start. Manti, North Sanpete Union, and the ever fearsome Emory Spartans on the other end of the county, cross that county line. Always a fun matchup. No matter what the record of those two teams is entering that showdown, you know it's always going to be a fantastic game this year. Expecting no different as the Emory Spartans off onto a hot start. Now, You are listening to this right here on 95.3 The Peak, but we have a plethora of other ways you can enjoy the Dino action tonight. If you want to watch it live and in color, as well as go back and watch any Dino athletic action, all you're going to have to do is head on over to YouTube. Go to that search bar and type in Castle Country Radio Carbon. Give it a click, and you'll be taken away to the world of Dino sporting events. You can watch live ones. You can go back and watch old contests, all at the palm of your hand. And then you can also find us on the KSL Sports app. So many ways to enjoy Dinos basketball, powered by Castle Country Radio and brought to you right here on 95.3 The Peak. We're going to take another quick break here on The Peak, and then when we come back, we'll be back for starting introductions as well as the anthem. This is where the Dinos play, and this is where you need to be. We'll be right back.
At Landon's Diesel, they understand the heartbeat of your diesel truck. Whether it's the rig that powers your livelihood or the everyday vehicle that drives your life, the trained technicians at Landon's Diesel are here to keep you rolling. Plus, with 24-hour towing service, support's just a call away, anytime, day or night. Drive into Landon's Diesel for expert care tailored to you and your truck, because when your diesel needs expertise, Landon's Diesel is always here.
At Oliver Law, we specialize in criminal defense and DUI. Everyone needs to know their rights. Let us guide you through the criminal justice minefield. At Oliver Law, we still believe in innocent until proven guilty.
Discover peace of mind with Don's Hometown Insurance, now even closer to home at their new location, 58 West Main Street in Price. Connect directly with friendly agents ready to tailor a package just for you. Imagine bundling your home, auto, and life insurance, simplifying your life while maximizing your savings. Experience personalized service designed to protect what matters most to you. Visit Don's Hometown Insurance today and feel the difference.
Hey there, food lovers. It's Bill Hicks from Farlano's Cafe, your new favorite spot for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Whether you're craving a hearty omelet, a fresh salad, our golden curly fries, or our mouth-watering pastas, we've got you covered. And we're open 7 days a week. So come on down to Farlano's Cafe, where every meal is a celebration. Remember, it's where the locals eat. Visit us at Farlano's, where great food and great company come together. See you soon.
At Landon's Diesel, they understand the heartbeat of your diesel truck. Whether it's the rig that powers your livelihood or the everyday vehicle that drives your life, the trained technicians at Landon's Diesel are here to keep you rolling. Plus, with 24-hour towing service, support's just a call away, anytime, day or night. Drive into Landon's Diesel for expert care tailored to you and your truck, because when your diesel needs expertise, Landon's Diesel is always here.
You're listening to Carbon Dino Basketball on the Peak, KRPX 95.3 FM.
Welcome back to Carbon High School basketball here on KRPX 95.3 The Peak, your home for Dinos athletics, where the Dinos play. Earlier in the month, we had the opportunity to talk to head coach Jordan Blank about this squad. Very young, only 3 seniors in this bunch, but lots of underclassmen stepping up in big ways. One player who has done it in a major way is Kayla Jones. We had the opportunity to talk to her following last week's loss to Ridgefield, but the confidence that exudes from her is incredible. Her message was, get me the ball and I will make the shot. I'll make them pay. Just put it in my hands. I will take care of it. I love seeing that confidence from younger players. Going into your junior year with that type of confidence is incredible. When the Dinos were playing at a tournament, they had Kayla playing in the JV tournament, but she went on a tear, scoring 6 threes in a contest, and afterwards Coach Blank went up to talk to her, and she said, I was just showing you what I can do, and she has done that now on the varsity level as well. Kayla, a sharp shooter from beyond the arc, an area which the Dinos have struggled with early on, but she stands out as a shining point. We're going to need to see a lot of production from the Lady Dinos. One player always exciting to watch is that of Blythe Bradford, the junior power forward. She's not the tallest player on the court. She stands about 5'6", 5'7", but what she lacks in height, she makes up for in heart. I kid you not, when she is down there, it is like watching a short Charles Barkley go to work. I've never seen someone so aggressive on the offensive glass. If you do not put a body on her when that shot goes off, she is going to make you pay. South Summit, probably watching film, are aware of this, but even when you know it's coming, it is still hard to stop. Both teams head to the sideline. We are a minute away from tip-off. We're going to take a quick pause for the national anthem, but then we'll be back with starting lineups and tip-off. You're watching Carbon High School basketball right here on 95.3 The Peak, where the Dinos play.
At Landon's Diesel, they understand the heartbeat of your diesel truck. Whether it's the rig that powers your livelihood or the everyday vehicle that drives your life, the trained technicians at Landon's Diesel are here to keep you rolling. Plus, with 24-hour towing service, support's just a call away, anytime, day or night. Drive into Landon's Diesel for expert care tailored to you and your truck, because when your diesel needs expertise, Landon's Diesel is always here.
Step inside the brand new designer home interior showroom on Main Street in Spanish Fork. Everything you need in one place. Hardwoods, LVP, carpet, cabinets, countertops, window coverings, furniture, rugs, and accessories. They carry all the major brands you know and trust. Plus, with professional designers on staff, you'll get the experts to bring your vision to life. Visit dhifloors.com today and request a quote. Designer Home Interiors, where design and style come together under one roof.
I was hoping to talk to someone about updating my insurance policy.
I am able to understand complete sentences.
That was a complete sentence?
I didn't understand that.
Or can I just talk to a person?
No one talks to humans anymore.
Sometimes humans are just more helpful.
I hear you. Why don't we review your coverage with a super check?
Farm Bureau Financial Services. It's your future. Let's protect it.
Contact Farm Bureau agent Jill Jensen in Price today.
You see your friends with their new travel trailers, four-wheelers, and side-by-sides. They're living the dream, right? Well, it doesn't just have to be a dream. You can start living that same dream life today by starting your new career with GMS Mine Repair and Maintenance. GMS is hiring mechanics, electricians, fabricators, experienced and inexperienced miners. They offer high starting wages, benefits, a 401k, and vacation pay. Local jobs are available. Apply today. Email your resume to kbarker@gmsminerepair.com. The dream can be yours with GMS Mine Repair.
The Dinos play here on 95.3 FM, The Peak.
Welcome back to Carbon High School basketball here on 95.3 The Peak, where the Dinos play and where you need to be. We're getting underway with starting lineups. We'll go through them one more time for South Summit. Emery Wolstenhume, Javian Clegg, Ashton Arnaud, Sydney Crystal, and Ruby Clegg. Your five on the floor for South Summit, coached by fourth-year head coach Matt Mapstone, wearing their green on black uniforms with the white numbering. Going left to right on your radio dial for your Carbon High School Dinos, it's going to be Emma Bowman, Sarah Nelson, Malia Smith, Bailey Johnson, and Blythe Bradford. The Dinos wearing their blue on white uniforms with the blue numbering. They're going to be going right to left on your radio dial. They're running on the court. We're moments away from the opening tip here on 95.3 The Peak. The Dinos 3-7 and coached by second-year head coach Jordan Blake. South Summit 0-5 on the year. As we are moments away, the officiating crew prepares for the opening tip. Scorers table give them the go-ahead. And the environment here in Jurassic Park is electric. The fans in the student section already on their feet. A very dapper night. Several suits, several robes in play already for Carbon. And we have the head official running to midcourt. He's preparing. Jumping for Carbon will be Bradford. Don't blame him. State champion in track and field in those leaping-based events. Always fun to see when you get very talented athletes. Again, Dinos right to left on your radio dial. South Summit left to right. Ball is up, and it is won by South Summit, after a scramble for it, the Wildcats come up with it, taking it up the floor, will be Arnaud. Loses the ball off her foot, but a quick foul whistle. That's going to go against Emma Bowman, picking up her first personal quickly as she commits the crime, tripping up Arnaud on the tip play. South Summit going to be setting up on their own side of the floor on the far sideline. Inbound goes Arnaud. Off with it, swings it over to Wolstenhume. Drives left wing, nearly loses it. Trap, pressure. Out of bounds. They're saying the Dinos gain possession on that. Sarah Nelson coming in alongside a great defensive pressure by Emma Bowman. Forces the step out by South Summit as the Dinos get to go the other way. Racing down court, they swing it to Sarah Nelson on the free throw line extended. She'll drive. Kick in between the circles goes Bradford. Quick foul whistled against South Summit. That's whistled against Ruby Clegg. Grabs the arm, and as a result, the Dinos set up along the Wildcat bench. They inbound the ball going quickly to Malia Smith. To Nelson on the right wing. In between the circles it goes to Bradford. Slowing the pace down in the half court. A spin by Smith. Shot from 15 out. Air ball. Fight for the rebound. Hustle for it. Unable to corral it. A hustle effort by Emma Bowman, but South Summit rewarded by taking it the other way. Arnaud drives, kicks back down the middle. Poked away by Nelson, but whistled for the foul, calling it on the arm. Nelson reaches in, trying to poke it away from Wolstenhume along the right wing, but instead of the ball, she catches arm. Second team foul for the Downs, first personal against Nelson. Surveying the floor, they get the ball. To the free throw line extended goes Arnaud. Facing double team pressure already between Smith and Nelson. Backs out, splits the C. Foots up the floater. Can't get it to fall. Rebound Bradford for the Dinos. Pulling it down as she drives the other way. Nearly travels but able to swing it out to Johnson. Fakes the three before Rainbow in it. Cross court stolen away by South Summit. A drive by Sydney Crystal. Loses it off her foot. They're going to say last touch. Carbon going to stay with the Wildcats on the other end. 6:54 to go. 0-0. Both teams struggling to find the bottom of the basket today. Two team fouls for the Dinos, one for South Summit. Inbound man goes Ruby Clegg on the end of Carbon. Quick inbound pass goes to Sydney Crystal on the low ball block. Goes for the reverse. Can't get it to fall. Instead, going to be a jump ball. Smith with the reflexes ties it up as Wolstenhume tries to go for the second chance effort. Going to be Dino ball the other direction. A defensive effort between both of these two teams so far, neither wanting to back off on the defensive side as Nelson gets the ball on the right wing. Rainbow pass to the left short corner. Jump shot from 10 out by Bradford. Can't fall. South Summit corrals the rebound. They'll race the other way. Doing the damage is Arnaud. Swings it to Wolstenhume along the right wing. Picks up her dribble. Back to Arnaud in between the circles. Hand off in the same spot. Dribbling it back out is Ruby Clegg. To Arnaud. Left corner goes to Clegg. Back to Arnaud on the drive. Shot up, tipped. Fight for the rebound. A scramble. Neither team able to corral it. Last touch goes against Malia Smith. Possession retained by the Wildcats. Still 0-0 with 6:01 left to go in quarter number one. Inbound next to the Dino bench goes Ruby Clegg. Quick pass into Arnaud. She'll take the three. Bricks it off the side of the rim. Scramble for the rebound. Dino's able to come up with it. Eventually corralling it is Bailey Johnson. Kicks it up to Smith. She'll go with the scoop to the hoop. Can't get it to fall. Rebound. Fought for again. South Summit pushes the other way off the missed shot from the Dinos. Arnaud looking to try and heat up. She passes off to Crystal. Kicks out to the corner. Goes Clegg. Three-point shot skips off. Rebound. Arnaud puts the first points of the contest on the board. Ashton Arnaud builds a 2-0 lead for South Summit. 5:25 left to go in quarter number one. Nelson on the left wing for the Dinos. Drives mid-court. Passing it around the perimeter. They get it to Johnson. Pass to Smith. Stolen away. Fast break opportunity for Ruby Clegg. Smith behind her. Good stop. Puts on the brakes, but can't make the shot. Bradford with a good second chance defense as they're forced to kick it out and begin the possession anew. Loft pass goes out. Last touch, South Summit. Dinos with the ball. 5 minutes down 2-0. Coach Blank along the sideline calling his play as the inbound goes in. Smith, the floor general, crosses the 10-second line to Nelson on the right wing. Rainbow pass goes Johnson on the left. Jab step, drives in, floater. Can't get the lucky bounce off the backboard, and out it goes into possession of South Summit. Still 2-0, 4:40 left to go. South Summit drives the other way. Arnaud splits the lane, and she draws the foul as a result. In between Nelson and Smith, closing on her like elevator doors. She hurries and hops on and gets rewarded with a foul. Whistle goes against Nelson, her second. Out of the game she'll come, and in her place comes Harley Hopes, the senior center. Wildcats going to rebound underneath the basket on the sea of carbon. Inbound man is Ruby Clegg. Kicks it out to Arnaud. She'll take the quick pull-up three. Drains it. Arnaud with a 5-0 personal run to build the lead for the Wildcats. 5-0 with 4:30 in quarter number one. Dinos looking for an answer. They get it down to Hopes. Her scoop and score is good. Immediate impact off the bench for Harley Hopes as full court press comes into play for Carbon. Haven't been able to because they haven't been making shots, but South Summit races it down court and are able to break it. They get it into the corner to Emily McNulty. She gets trapped in the corner, forces the turnover. Dinos get to race the other direction. Johnson puts up the fading shot on the break. Can't get it to fall. Foul whistled. Going to go against Carbon. It's going to be their fourth personal foul of the quarter, whistled against Hopes, her first personal of the game. 5-2 sits the score with 4 minutes left in quarter number one. The Dinos finally an opportunity to set up in their press, unable to make a shot early on, and when they have, the Wildcats were able to quickly push the ball up the floor, and they break the press with ease. They get into the hands of Ruby Clegg. Swings up court to Sydney Crystal, fakes the pass. She'll take the shot from 10 out on the left block. Can't get it to fall. Air ball, and it goes out. Dinos take possession the other way. Bowman and Smith, your two guards going down this trip. South Summit lines up in the 3-2 defense. They try and get it to Hopes in between the circles, loses the ball, brought down, scramble for it. Kicked ball violation against the Dinos goes in favor of South Summit. Another turnover for Carbon and a timeout called in response by Coach Blank. The Dinos' defense has looked solid, but their offense has been unable to get the job done early on. Harley Hopes, the only Dino in the scoring column right now with a hook shot in the first moments out off the bench. The Dinos have had their looks. They've had opportunities to drive in. They've shot threes. They just have been unable to convert on any open looks. Again, going back to the stats heading into this contest, the Dinos struggled from shooting 24% from the field and 18% from beyond the arc, showing that statistic early on in the contest. Meanwhile, for South Summit, it has been all Ashton Arnaud gets the scoop and score, and then she hits the three off the inbound to make a 5-2 advantage in favor of South Summit. For the Wildcats on the floor, you're going to have Sydney Crystal, Ruby Clegg, Emery Woolstenhume, Emily McNulty, and rounding out that five for South Summit will be Ashton Arnaud. For the Lady Dinos, it's going to be Bowman, Smith, Johnson, Hopes, and Bradford. Inbound goes to South Summit. No, pick it up at the midcourt stripe. They pass it off to Woolstenhume in between the circles to the high post. They sling to McNulty. Kicks outside, goes Clegg. Pass down low, tipped away by Hopes, stolen by the Dinos. They'll race the other way. Johnson with the ball, kicks to Smith in the right corner. She'll take a dribble, drive inside, rebound Bradford, shot up and off the back, rewarded for the second chance effort. Blythe Bradford makes it a 1-point affair. 5-4, quick steal by Malia Smith, and they take their first lead of the contest. Malia Smith with the steal off the inbound. Dinos up 6-5 with 3 minutes left. South Summit breaks the press this time. They kick it down low to McNulty against Hopes, puts up the prayer, can't get it to fall. Rebound Malia Smith. Fouled as she tries to race up court. That one is going to be whistled against the Wildcats, and Sydney Crystal's the one who committed the crime. Only the second team foul whistled against South Summit. First personal against Crystal. The Dinos buy themselves some breathing room in the full court as Smith crosses the timeline in between the circles. Kick out to Johnson on the left wing. Swings it to Hopes in between the circles. Over to Smith on the right wing. Try to loft down low to Bradford. Tipped away. Great defense by the Wildcats. The Dinos keep it alive. 18 on the shot clock. Smith drives in, and she's hammered as she goes up for the shot. She'll be rewarded with a trip to the charity stripe. Malia Smith helped the Dinos take the lead early on. 6-5 sits the score with 2:31 left, and now a chance to add some cushioning to that lead. As Smith walks to the stripe on the season, a 75% shooter from the line, a very reliable force for Carbon as the first is up, and she strokes that one home. Smith has 3 in the contest. The sophomore playing major varsity minutes early on. You got to love what you see from this young group. Second is up. Pure as well. Smith leads the team in scoring with 4. Full court pressure again coming for the Dinos as South Summit struggles to break it. They're going to race across it, but they're saying clean trip, a wrestle for it, and a travel whistled against the Wildcats. The pressure too much for Ruby Clegg as she's tripped up at the midcourt stripe, falls to the ground, tries to get up to protect the ball, but travels instead. Dinos take possession up 8-5 with 2:22 left to go. Smith receives the inbound and surveys the floor. Kicks over to Johnson on the right wing. Navigating around, they get to Bradford in between the circles. Moving it around, pass stolen away by Arnaud. 2-on-1. Forced to back out thanks to the defense of Bradford on the break. Tipped out by Johnson. Last touch Dinos, but a great deflection and great active awareness coming from Bailey Johnson to tip that pass along the baseline out. Makes it a lot harder to try and set up. We've seen them struggle from these baseline out of bounds. Clegg to go for the inbound. Surveys the floor. Quick pass into Wolstenholme. Can't get it to fall. Rebound Bradford. Waits for the floor to clear before swinging it up court to Bowman. She crosses the Dino logo midcourt. Gets it to Johnson on the right wing. Lets the offense sets up. Lob pass down low to Hopes. Pivot. Pass back to Johnson. Immediately back to Hopes to Bradford on the free throw line. She'll drive, go up with the left, and she'll get hammered, and she'll be rewarded with a trip to the charity stripe. The Dinos so far able to convert on all their attempts from the line. Love what you're seeing from this squad early on. 2 of 2. Bradford looks to make it 3 of 3 as South Summit, not in foul trouble early on, have now found themselves up to 4 team fouls. Bradford connects on the first. She's got 3. Substitution. Johnson out for the Dinos. Into the contest comes Taylor Orth, the freshman, averaging 2 points per game. Second up by Bradford. Bricks off the back of the rim. Rebound South Summit racing the other way. Navigating the press is Ruby Clegg. Faces double team pressure, swings it out, gets it to Arnaud. Looking around, spin move, drive down the lane, kick outside to Clegg. She'll take the 3 off the back iron. Can't get it to fall. Rebound Dinos up to Smith. The foot races up. She goes up strong, hammered, and she'll earn 2 to the line. 5th team foul whistled against South Summit after playing the first 6 minutes of this frame with only 2. The fouls have come in bulk for the Wildcats. As step into the line for Carbon will be Malia Smith. First is up. It is Pure. Smith's got 5. Substitutions coming for South Summit. To the bench heads Javian Clegg. In her stead comes Sydney Crystal. Smith, one more chance at the line. Pure on that one as well. Nothing but net for the sophomore. She's got 6. Full court pressure again coming from the Dinos, trying to run the trap. South Summit able to break it again. They try and rush it up court, but tipped away by Bradford. Out of bounds it goes. Active hands for the Dinos. Keep this one 11-5. Limit the break. South Summit still in possession. They get it to Arnaud near midcourt, guarded by Smith. She'll drive to her left before kicking back outside to Wolstenholme. In the same spot, they get to the free throw line to Crystal. She'll try and drive before backing out. Back to Arnaud. 1 minute left in quarter number 1. Wolstenholme drives, tries to pass down low to find Staple. Can't do it. Poked away by Hopes, and Bradford will push the other way for Carbon. Navigating the ball around the Dinos. Get it into the hands of Taylor Orth. Kicks it out to the left corner to Smith. Drive inside. Orth now And she gets a little too excited, takes the extra step, and is whistled for the travel. Still 11-5 as South Summit gets to race the other way. (11-5) sits the score. 41 seconds left in quarter number one. A half-court heave coming and a foul whistled against Bradford. 15 foul whistled against the Dinos on that one. That's going to mean free throws on the other end for South Summit, their first trip to the line in today's contest. Committing the crime on that one was Blythe Bradford, and now to the stripe. Because of it, heads Sydney Crystal. Crystal scoreless in this game, but a 67% shooter from the stripe as she connects on the first. The first player not named Ashton Arnaud to put up points for the Wildcats today. Score sits 11-6 with 40 seconds left in quarter number one. Second shot up, pure as well. 2 of 2 from the line for Sydney Crystal. The Dinos go the other way. Smith surveys the floor. 4-second difference between shot and game clock. Orth in the right corner. Kicks to Smith on the drive. Puts up the shot from the free throw line. Blocked by Arnaud. Rebound goes to Staple. South Summit has a chance. Shot clock turned off. They can have the last shot of the frame if they want, but travels on the drive does Ruby Clegg. Not too pleased about the call. Asks the ref, what did I do? As the score still sits 11-7. 17 seconds left in quarter number one. The Dinos, if they choose to, can have the last shot of the frame. Orth drives to the right. Cuts left. Drives in. Bounce pass to Smith. Puts up the shot underneath. Can't get it to fall. Scramble for the rebound. Goes South Summit. They have 2 seconds to get a shot off. Clegg will put up the prayer. Air ball. As we end quarter number one with the Dinos up 11-7. We'll take a quick break here on 95.3 The Peak, but be back with more Carbon Dinos action right after this.
We're not going out on a limb when we say,
I want to go to Juniper.
Juniper Kitchen. Fantastic food, fun atmosphere. Known for their made-from-scratch pizzas, Juniper has the very best pastas, burgers, salads, wraps, hoagies, paninis, appetizers, loaded sodas, desserts, vegan and vegetarian options. Dine in for lunch or dinner, Tuesday through Friday, 11 till 8. Saturdays, noon till 8. Order online at juniperkitchenutah.com with DoorDash delivery. Stop beating around the bush for a great meal.
I want to go to Juniper.
Juniper Kitchen and Price.
You're looking for somewhere you could be proud to work. Komatsu is looking for you. Komatsu is a leading manufacturer of construction, mining, forestry, and industrial heavy equipment. Komatsu currently has openings for seasoned welders, journeyman electricians, and MSHA certified electricians, as well as master machinists. At Komatsu, not only will your skills be rewarded with competitive wages, but you'll also enjoy benefits like a robust 401k plan. Grow with Komatsu. Go to komatsu.com or call Tanner at 636-6150.
You're listening to Carbon Dino Basketball on the Peak, KRPX 95.3 FM.
Welcome back to Carbon High School Basketball here on 95.3 The Peak, where the Dinos play and where you need to be at the start of the second quarter. Dinos up 11-7 over the Wildcats of South Summit. Inbound goes as South Summit starts the quarter with the ball. Taking it down will be Arnaud. Leads the Wildcats with 5 points. Behind her, Sydney Crystal with 2. They move the ball around the perimeter, back in the hands of Arnaud. She'll drive down the left lane, lose it off her leg, out of bounds it goes. Dinos take possession. The Dinos started slow in this one, finding themselves down 5-0 early on, but a furious 11-2 rally capped off the first quarter as they look to put away the Wildcats. A drive by Johnson with the left. No one gets in her way. Bailey Johnson gets her first points of the contest. 4 Dinos in the scoring column. South Summit swings the ball up court, tried to force it down low to McNulty, stolen away by Carbon. It's Orth with the ball up to Johnson. Splits 2 defenders, drives in, puts up the floater, gets the lucky bounce. 4-0 run for Bailey Johnson, and the Dinos up 15-7 in the first minute of quarter number 2. South Summit looks for an answer. They kick it out to the short corner to McNulty along the right side. Outside to Arnaud. She'll take a 3, drain it from deep. Arnaud, without a hand in her face, makes the Dinos pay. She's got 8. Carbon the other way as Johnson brings it up along the left side. Crossover move, drives down the lane. She'll put up another floater. Can't get the lucky bounce on that one as the scramble for the board goes in favor of South Summit. Pushing up court will be Arnaud. Slings to the left wing to Clegg. Clegg's three. Rattles. Can't fall, but rebound Arnaud. Clegg gets a second chance from beyond the arc. Air ball. And that one bounces out. Wolstenhume trying to shove Bradford into the ball as Bradford boxes out and lets it roll. Keeps the score at 15-10. You got to give a lot of credit to Ashton Arnaud. She's carrying this team right now. 8 of the 10 points of the Wildcats coming courtesy of the junior, as she has been lethal from beyond the arc. 2 threes in the contest as Johnson brings it up for the Dials. Swings it to Bradford on the right wing. Back to Johnson in between the circles. Straightaway three. It's good. Nothing but net for Johnson. She's got 7 points in the second quarter. All 7 of the Dinos points as well coming from Johnson here. Full court pressure from Carbon as they force frustration off the knee. The officials call it of Ruby Clegg as the Dinos take possession. A good job by Blythe Bradford playing roadblock, steps in front of the oncoming Wildcat, takes the elbow to the gut, and gets a turnover as a result. The Dinos doing a good job as they get the ball into Johnson. She'll drive down the middle before swinging the ball around the perimeter. They get it to Bradford in the right corner. Back to Johnson in between the circles. 2 post players down low. Johnson opts to drive to the high post. Kicks it outside to Orth. Fakes right, goes left. Back outside, they swing it to Kayla Jones. Jones to Bradford. She'll drive. Facing double team pressure. She's up, but she's hit hard on the wrist. Bradford going to get her second opportunity at the charity stripe. She went 1 of 2 on her last trip to the line on the season. A 56% shooter from the line. 18-10 sits the score as the first shot from Bradford off the front of the rim. Can't convert on that one, as instead they move to 3 and 4 from the line. 3 and 5 from the line. Second one, it does go in for Bradford. She's got 4 in the contest. Substitutions. Bradford out. Into the contest comes Emma Bowman. Full court pressure. 1-2-1-1 press for Carbon as they try and trap along the baseline. Poked away by Johnson. Stays in possession of South Summit. The Wildcats are looking for a foul, namely Arnaud wants the call along the baseline. She lets the ref know that as they get it into her. Guarded closely by Orth, poked away. Going to stay in favor of South Summit. Arnaud really wants the reach-in call, and she's letting her teammates know it as they have broken in half court, and the student section letting her hear it as well. Swings it over to Ruby Clegg on the left wing. Back to Arnaud. Tries to split 2 defenders. And this time she will get the whistle as she tries to drive to the rack. This foul whistled against Bailey Johnson. First team foul whistled against Carbon. First personal for Johnson. Next to the student section, the Wildcats will inbound again. Arnaud swings to Clegg into the left corner. They find Wolstenhume. To the low block on the left side. McNulty puts up a shot. Can't get it to fall. Rebound. Orth. Swing to Johnson. She has a lane. Slows down, fade away, call her Dirk. She drains it with the leg out, falling backwards. Bailey Johnson, 9 points in the quarter for the Dinos. Only one other Dino scoring so far, Blythe Bradford from the line as South Summit puts up a prayer from beyond the arc. And that prayer is answered as Arnaud strikes again in between the circles. She's got 11 in the contest. Johnson kicks out to the left corner. Finds Bowman. Back to Johnson. Thinks about the 3. Won't take. Jab step. Drives down the lane instead. She'll put it up. Foul whistled on the ground. The Dinos will retain possession as substitutions coming. Kayla Jones out. Nelson going to be coming into the contest in her stead. 21-13 sits the score. Foul whistled against South Summit will go against Arnaud. They'll put in Javian Clegg in her place. Johnson, the inbound, hopes she'll take a 3, and she'll rattle it home. Harley Hopes has 5 in the contest, a hook shot, and a nice rattle-in 3 as the full court pressure results in a steal for Orth. She'll go up strong with the right and get that one to fall. And the Wildcats are frazzled and a timeout forced by the Dinos defense. They're up 26-13 in the second quarter with 4:29 left to go. We'll take that timeout with them, but you're listening to Carbon High School basketball right here on 95.3 The Peak, where the Dinos play.
The more things change,
the more they stay the same.
Yes, Mr. Automotive has a new building in Huntington.
But that just means the services they offer just got better.
Detailing and mechanic work are being added to the already great service Mr. Automotive had already offered.
And all deals are still done with the owner at the lowest prices possible.
New building, same best prices, and more auto services. Go to MrAutomotiveSales.com or stop by the dealership, 21 South Main, Huntington. Mr. Automotive, the best for less.
The Dinos play here on 95.3 FM, The Peak.
Welcome back to Carbon Dino basketball here on 95.3 The Peak, where the Dinos play and where you need to be midway through the second quarter. Carbon up 26-13 over the Wildcats of South Summit, a major contributor in this effort in the second quarter. Bailey Johnson, 9 points in the frame. She has been electric. Playing co-star to her, you've got Blythe Bradford with one from the line and Harley Hopes with a three. As the inbound goes into South Summit, Dinos trying to race out of the timeout, able to quickly jump into the press, but they get it up close to Woolstenhume, swing it down low. A shot from McNulty won't fall. Rebound Dinos, smooth bounce pass from Johnson and up to Nelson it goes, but she's fouled on the way up. She'll earn a trip to the line. What a smooth bounce pass from Bailey Johnson. Threads the needle between two defenders up to Nelson, who's hit on her way up. That foul is going to be whistled against Javian Clegg. Her third foul trouble early for the Wildcat as the first shot from Nelson will fall. The Dinos able to get the shot to fall so far on the day. They are shooting 5 of 7 from the line. Nelson finding her first points of the ball game on that shot. She'll take a deep breath as she prepares for shot number 2. Second one, Rattles doesn't get the lucky bounce. Rebound goes South Summit. Pressure again coming before they call off the Dogs. They swing the ball across court, rainbow it down low where they find McNulty. Goes to work in the paint, tries to put the shot up over Hope. Air ball. Rebound South Summit, they'll get a second chance, but this time Orth will corral the ball. She'll take it up herself before passing off to Nelson in between the pipes. Gets it off to Johnson, nearly poked away by South Summit. Good defense coming from the Wildcats. Johnson drives inside, wants the contact, but instead whistled for the travel. Turnover on the Dinos, and we will go the other way for the Wildcats. Again, the 1-2-1-1 press coming for Carbon as they try and trap the ball in the back court. Back and forth they go like a game of patty cake. Stolen away by Bowman, but her foot on the line as she gets possession. Not the result they wanted. They wanted to steal, but good job slowing down this Wildcat offense. 27-13, the Dinos dominating early on as they get the ball into Arnaud. She'll drive left side against Bowman. Before kicking out to the left corner, they'll find Crystal. Shot fake before passing back outside. Back in between the pipes goes Clegg to Arnaud. She'll take another three. Gets the lucky bounce off the right corner of the square as she has hit another three. Arnaud with a team leading 14 points. Game high between these two teams as Bowman shot on the other end. Skips off the back of the rim. Rebound goes South Summit. Ruby Clegg forced to pick up her dribble before going to Arnaud. She'll take a three. Heavy pressure. Doesn't get the lucky bounce off the backboard this go around. Rebound instead goes to Nelson. Arcing pass to Johnson. Goes up with the right. The scoop and score for the Dinos. Johnson into double digits with 11 in the second quarter alone. Quick pass up court. South Summit breaks the press, but they can't get the shot to fall. Rolls harmlessly off the front of the rim. Rebound goes to the Dinos. Harley Hopes does a good job swinging it over to Sarah Nelson. Now to Orth. She'll drive in up with the right. Doesn't get the lucky bounce as it rolls out into the hands of South Summit. 29-16 with 2:30 left in quarter number 2. The Dinos up big early on as Arnaud splits the defense like the Red Sea. She'll drive in before getting hacked on her way up. Down to earth, she'll fall, but as a result, she'll get two free ones at the stripe. 29-16 sits the score in favor of Carbon thanks to the big quarter from Bailey Johnson. Team high 11 points in the contest. To the line for South Summit steps Arnaud. First shot up, pure on that one. Arnaud able to push it to a perfect 3 of 3 from the line for South Summit. She's got a game-high 15. On the season, averaging 10.8. She's exploded past that in half number 1. Second shot off the back iron. Can't fall. Rebound goes to the Dinos. They swing it up to Johnson. Nearly stolen away. Able to recover, but throws it to her teammate. Good recovery by Natalie Cartwright. Can't get the shot to fall. Scramble for the rebound. Smith comes up with it. Swings it over to Johnson. A fight for it, and a foul going to be whistled against South Summit. And no, they are going to whistle that against the Dinos. Johnson whistled for her second as the team foul situation sits at 3 apiece with 2:03 left to go. Sydney Crystal for the inbound next to the Wildcat bench. Still full court pressure coming, switching to more of a man look. As they get it inside, they find Kelby Pierce checking into the ball game for the first time tonight. They hand off to Crystal. To Arnaud, drives along the right side before spinning back to her left. Hand off to a driving Crystal. She can't get the shot up. Rebound by Orth. Kicks it up. They find Jones. One to beat. She goes up. Can't go up with it. And instead, a foul going to be whistled against Malia Smith of the Dinos. Catches a Wildcat on the arm. Fourth team foul whistled against Carbon. First personal against Smith. Full court pressure again coming for the Dinos. Crystal on the inbound for South Summit. They sling it over to Emery Wolstenhume. Crosses the midcourt stripe before facing heavy pressure. Able to swing it up to Arnaud. Kicks it down low, falling down. Can't get the shot to fall, but another foul whistled. And it's going to go against the Dinos. And as a result, we're going to be seeing ourselves in the bonus as Tessa Sargent earns a trip to the line. Second personal foul whistled against Taylor Orth. 29-17 advantage for Carbon with 1:31 left to go in half number 1. First shot up and short by Sargent, unable to get that one to fall. 4 of 5 on the day are the Wildcats from the line. Second shot up. Unable to convert as well. 0 of 2 on that trip as the rebound goes in favor of Carbon. Pushing it up court will be Cartwright. Kicks it over to Jones. Picks up her dribble and a double dribble whistled. Forgot she had that one picked up. Gonna go the other way. 1:19 left to go in half number 1. Don't go anywhere. Coming up, we have the Castle Valley Orthodontics halftime show brought to you by Dr. Callie and his team as the inbound goes for South Summit. Arnaud able to break the press despite facing heavy pressure from Bowman. She'll drive inside and be whistled for the travel. She's not pleased with that one. Immediately goes to the official. She's not happy with that call one bit. Chance if you can't do that, rain down from the student section as Carbon gets to push the other way. 29-17, 1:05 and ticking here. Smith drives inside, tries to send the bounce pass down low to a cutting Cartwright, but can't get it, stolen away by the Wildcats. Arnaud nearly loses her dribble, slides to the ground, and a foul whistled on the body against the Dinos. Too chaotic along the baseline. Gonna set South Summit up with another trip to the line. Sixth personal foul against Carbon in the quarter. First personal whistled against Jones. 29-17 as the foul sends Kelby Pierce to the line. Pierce, normally a 67% shooter, unable to connect on the first. Gears up for shot number 2. Incomplete on that one as well. Dinos get the rebound. They'll go the other way. Smith yo-yos the ball around before bringing it in between the circles. Attempts to drive inside, forced to pick up her dribble, slings down low, finds Bowman before driving to the hoop, kicks outside. A drive and kick by Cartwright. Finds Bowman, her shot from 10 out, won't fall. Rebound Arnaud for the Wildcats. And a foul whistled. Riding her down court was Emma Bowman. That's going to be team foul number 7 against Carbon. Regardless, free throws for Arnaud, who has been a calming force for the Wildcats down the stretch. 29-17, double-digit advantage for Carbon High with 20 seconds left in the opening half. Arnaud has 15 and is a 74% shooter from the line. First one's up, can't get it to fall. The free throw woes continue for South Summit. One more shot coming for the Wildcats as Arnaud looks to redeem herself. Second shot is up. Pure on that one. Nothing but net for Arnaud as she's got 16. 20 seconds left in half number 1 for the Dinos. Smith with the ball. She'll drive left courtesy of a screen by Cartwright. To the left wing she goes. Spins. A lane. Goes up. Hit, no whistle, rebound, Wildcats. The Dinos have to be careful not to foul. 2 seconds left. They're going to go for the half-court heave. Air ball by the Wildcats as Ruby Clegg unable to connect from deep. And the Dinos go into the halftime locker room with a 29-18 advantage over the Wildcats of South Summit. A good quarter from Carbon, putting up 18 in the frame while holding South Summit to 11. So a good showing for Carbon here in the first half of action as we go into the Castle Valley Orthodontics halftime show. We are going to take a quick break, but then we're going to be right back with more Carbon Dinos basketball right here on 95.3 The Peak. This is where the Dinos play, and this is where you need to be. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Dr. Daniel Kelly, owner of Castle Valley Orthodontics. What's keeping you from having a perfect smile? We understand what you want from a local orthodontist, and here at Castle Valley Orthodontics, you'll be treated like family. Call Castle Valley Orthodontics at 637-2222 for a free consultation.
Imagine a smooth, hassle-free journey to the front door of your new home with the Driggs Mortgage Team guiding you every step of the way. Hi, this is Greg Driggs. Our seasoned experts understand the ins and outs of home financing and refinancing. Come visit us at our new permanent address, 8 East Main in Price, where we plan to be a staple for years to come. Start your journey today. Call 801-427-3577. The Driggs Mortgage Team, NMLS number 272076, Equal Housing Opportunity. Driggs Mortgage Team is a DBA of Premier Mortgage Resources, LLC, NMLS 1169.
In the heart of Carbon and Emery counties, Quick Realty is here to help you make the right move. Experience the future of home buying with our Matterport 3D tours, giving you an immersive look at your potential home from anywhere. Meet our dedicated team of local professionals, just real people who care, walking you through every step of the way. As a Zillow Premier and Realtor.com specialist, Quick Realty is your trusted expert, handling everything from residential, commercial, and mountain properties to property management. Your dream home is just a call away. Let Quick Realty help you find it.
Having a great local pharmacy that you can rely on is important. At Price Family Pharmacy, transferring your prescriptions is simple and hassle-free. Just call us at 637-3737 and we'll take care of the rest. Need your medication delivered right to your door? We offer free delivery to make your life even easier. Managing multiple medications? Ask about our convenient med packing services to keep you organized and on track. Visit Price Family Pharmacy and experience a team that genuinely cares. Feel better about your pharmacy. Choose Price Family Pharmacy today.
Transform your space with Spectrum Paint featuring PPG paint, the ideal choice for any home project. Imagine a kaleidoscope of colors at your fingertips, from soothing pastels to vibrant primaries. Whether revamping a room or adding character to your exteriors, Spectrum Paint makes every brush stroke count. Dive into a spectrum where quality meets creativity and paint your world with us. Visit Spectrum Paint to find the perfect shade for your home today.
Plumbing issues don't happen every day, but when they do, it's good to know that there's a plumber you can trust right here in the Castle Country. The Swell Plumber has over 30 years of experience and has proven that he's reliable. Here's what some customers have said about the Swell Plumber.
Kurt was amazing. He came out to the house the same day and got quotes to us very quickly.
Kurt kept in touch with us with updates as things progressed. I was definitely pleased.
For residential and commercial plumbing, go to theswellplumber.com and book your appointment today.
Picture this. A sudden burst pipe, flames engulfing your kitchen, Disaster strikes when you least expect it. But fear not, because Restore Wizard of Price is here to save the day. Their team of restoration experts is ready to tackle any fire or flood emergency from start to finish. They're not just here to fix the damage, they're here to restore your peace of mind. Don't let disaster catch you off guard. Call Restore Wizard of Price, 637-9165. Restore Wizard, the magic of a fresh start.
Hi, I'm Dr. Daniel Kelly, owner of Castle Valley Orthodontics. What's keeping you from having a perfect smile? We understand what you want from a local orthodontist. And here at Castle Valley Orthodontics, you'll be treated like family. Call Castle Valley Orthodontics at 637-2222 for a free consultation.
Welcome to the Carbon Dinos Halftime Report, brought to you by Castle Valley Orthodontics. Call 637-2222 and schedule your free consultation for a smile that will last a lifetime.
Welcome into the Castle Valley Orthodontics halftime show here on 95.3 The Peak, as well as our viewing audience over on YouTube at Castle Country Radio Carbon and the KSL Sports app. Aiden Mortensen alongside you is at the half. The score sits 29-18 in favor of your Carbon Dinos over the Wildcats of South Summit. Looking at scoring by quarter, the Dinos have won both frames, going on an 11-2 run in quarter number one to finish 11-7. Heading into that second quarter, the Dinos offense really came alive, winning the frame 18-11 and building up this 29-18 advantage we see at the halftime break. Leading the way for the Dinos is Bailey Johnson, has 11 points in the contest, all 11 coming in that second quarter. That's something the Dinos have excelled at all year, is having at least one player putting up an explosive frame. It's so much fun seeing when the Dinos get that offense clicking, especially when it's the defense to offense transition. I know Coach Blank loves with that full court press. Several steals coming in favor of Carbon as they're able to push the pace in the full court situations. That plays into their benefit. At times, South Summit has struggled to get back, and because of that, they've been whistled with several fouls early on, but foul trouble for the Dinos was the story of the second quarter, going into the double bonus before that final buzzer sounded in the first half, giving the Wildcats several chances at the line, but unfortunately unable to convert on them for the Wildcats. That's something as a team and as a coach I know is very frustrating. That's something you drill. That's something that most of the time you shouldn't even devote practice time to, because that's something that the kids should be doing on their own. But in the age of three-pointers, it feels like that is a shot that is not practiced nearly enough, and that has been the case tonight for South Summit. They've had plenty of opportunities at the stripe. They have shot 3 for 9 from the line, 33%. From the stripe. Meanwhile, Carbon, on the other hand, has had a much better showing. They have shot so far 5 of 6 from the stripe, and that's been a key part of them building up this 29-18 advantage in the contest. 2 minutes and 45 seconds left before both teams retake the court. I think something I want to see from Carbon here in half number 2 is I want to see them slow down the pace just a little bit in the half court. They've done a good job of that. It's been a good adjustment early on in the year from these players, but you want to see them take a bit more of a methodical approach. We're seeing passes that are being rushed, maybe forced a little too quickly by Carbon. That's leading to some easy turnovers, some easy defensive plays for the Lady Wildcats. Outside of that, Carbon playing a stellar game so far, holding South Summit to just 2 players in the scoring column. For the Wildcats, it is Ashton Arnaud doing all of the damage. She's got 16 in the contest. Keep in mind, South Summit with 18 points in the game. The only other Wildcat to score was Sydney Crystal. She was able to do some damage from the charity stripe. She went 2 of 2 on her lone trip to the line. Now with 1:45 and ticking. The Dinos looking to bring the same intensity out. Coach Blank with a smile on his face along the sideline as Carbon gets warmed up. We're going to take another quick break here on the Castle Valley Orthodontics halftime show, but we'll be right back with the start of the second half right here on 95.3 The Peak. This is where the Dinos play.
Hi, I'm Dr. Daniel Kelly, owner of Castle Valley Orthodontics. What's keeping you from having a perfect smile? We understand what you want from a local orthodontist. And here at Castle Valley Orthodontics, you'll be treated like family. Call Castle Valley Orthodontics at 637-2222 for a free consultation.
You're listening to Carbon Dino Basketball on the Peak, KRPX 95.3 FM.
Welcome back into the Castle Valley Orthodontics halftime show. 40 seconds left here before we begin the second half of action. Dinos up 29-18 over the Wildcats of South Summit. Leading the way again for Carbon is Bailey Johnson with 11 points, all coming in the second quarter. But also in the scoring column, Harley Hopes with 5, Blythe Bradford with 4, Malia Smith with 6, Taylor Orth with 2, and Sarah Nelson with 1. Your 5 on the floor for Carbon is going to be Smith, Johnson, Bradford, Bowman, and Nelson will be the inbound man this go around as the Dinos start the second half with possession. Up 29-18. I was about to say we're off to the races, but a quick stoppage by the official delays that statement. An official signal is given, and the inbound goes to Smith to kick off the second half of action. Driving down the left side. She'll take a screen by Bradford. Driving to the right wing. Hesitation. Looking for anything. Fakes left, goes right, gets to Johnson. Thinks about the three, won't take it. Jab step. Steps back and brings it in between the pipes. Over to Nelson on the left wing to Smith. Shot fake on the left corner. A rainbow pass goes to Bowman. Able to recover it. Pass down low to Bradford. Goes to work in the post. Goes up strong, doesn't get the whistle, and rebound goes to South Summit. Wildcats drive the other way. Arnaud with the ball in her hands, dribbles to the right wing. Double team pressure coming. Handoff instead goes to Clegg. Nearly poked away, forced to retreat back near midcourt as Arnaud, guarded by Smith. She'll drive left lane, splits the defense, kicks over to Clegg, and a charge whistled against Arnaud as the ball goes the other way. Absorbing the contact was Emma Bowman as the Dinos forced the turnover. Second personal foul whistled against Arnaud in the contest. Smith, floor general this trip down, dribbles near the student section along the left side. Left to right on your radio dial. Splits the lane, kicks out. Johnson, 3. Narrowly grazes rim as it bounces out of bounds. They're going to say last touch Carbon. South Summit takes possession off the errant shot. Still 29-18 with 6:57 left to go in quarter number 3. Full court pressure again coming from the Dinos as they try and force turnovers from the Wildcats. They kick it up court where they find Clegg. She'll drive outside, kick it back out to Arnaud. To the right corner, they sling the ball down low where they find McNulty, unable to get the shot to fall. Carbon races the other way. Nelson trying to do some early damage, break the ice. Can't get the lucky bounce as the scramble for the rebound goes to Carbon. They get it to Smith, who's 3 up. Skips off the side of the rim. Rebound South Summit, still 29-18. Arnaud dribbles down the floor, guarded by Smith. Tries to pass out to Wolstenhume, tipped away by Johnson. Out of bounds it goes. South Summit retains possession. Wildcats inbound to Arnaud. Fakes right, dribbles left, passes to the corner to Clegg. They find McNulty. Swinging it back around the perimeter. They find Arnaud. Again, handoff to Wolstenhume on the right wing. They can't find any openings. The Dinos defense, shot clock down to 7. They have to hurry and get something up. They swing to Arnaud. Tries to go in. She drives. Can't beat the shot clock, but stolen by the Dinos. Smith has an open lane to the hoop. Shot fake, can't get it to fall. Rebound, Johnson hit hard on the second chance effort, and the Dinos will go to the line with a chance to break the ice and score the first points of the frame. Score sits at 29-18. Second team foul this quarter whistled against the Wildcats. First one going against Emery Wolstenhume. Johnson at the stripe. She'll connect on the first. Johnson's got 12, the first points from either side here in half number 2. As Johnson looks to tack on some more, make it a 13-point advantage for Carbon. Shot is up, nothing but net on that one as well. Johnson's got 13. Full court pressure coming for Carbon again as South Summit able to break it. Arnaud finds a lane, forced to kick back outside, stolen away by the Dinos. A good job by Bowman with active hands. Lofts it up to Smith right off her fingertips. Unable to make the three-quarters court catch. As they set up again in their full court pressure. Inbound goes. They find Arnaud. Bounce pass goes to Clegg. Back and forth they go, trying to break it, and they will with a pass to Sydney Crystal. Loft pass down low to Wolstenhume with a quick bounce pass out to Clegg. Round and round it goes before being stolen by the Dinos. Johnson swings up to Nelson. No one in her way. Two open on that one as she blows it, but gets the steal, and she's going to go back up for attempt number 2. And she hits the and one, getting the shot to fall on the high arcing rainbow. Can't make the fast break. Gets the steal, pokes it away, up and in it goes for Sarah Nelson. She now has a chance for 3 points the old-fashioned way as she steps to the line. 1 of 2 on the day from the charity stripe. 45% shooter on the season is Nelson. Takes a few dribbles, puts the shot up. Able to connect, and they pull off the three-point play to build the 34-18 lead. Full court pressure still coming aggressively. They try and break it. They nearly had the lane, but the ball thrown over the head of Sydney Crystal and goes out along the baseline with no interference from the Dinos. Carbon gets to take it the other way, up 34-18 with 5 minutes left and ticking in the third quarter. Johnson to the right wing, kicks across court to Nelson on the left, takes a screen set by Bradford, kicks out to Malia Smith on the right corner, drives down the baseline, puts up the floater. The scoop to the hoop won't fall, rebound South Summit. As they slow the pace, they get it into the hands of Arnaud. Looks around, hesitates right, drives left, kicks out to the left corner to Ruby Clegg. Down low, the pass goes to McNulty. She's able to get some space, can't get it to fall. Second chance effort by Sydney Crystal. Able to find the bottom of the basket. First points of the frame for South Summit as they break the goose egg. 34-20 sets the score. Johnson, jab step, fakes left, brings it back in between the pipes. Miscommunication, passes off to Bradford, who goes for the screen, able to recover. Back to Johnson, drives in. She's hit hard on her drive to the hoop. Fouled by Emily McNulty. McNulty doesn't agree with that call, saying she is straight up, but the official saying she brought her arms down for the contact. Third foul against McNulty. Fourth team foul with 4:08 left to go against the Wildcats. They're going to say that one was up in the air as Johnson goes to the line. First is up and pure. Up to 14 in the contest. Johnson, a perfect 3 of 3 in the second half from the line, doing a bulk of damage for the Dinos. 35-20 sits the score. And the second up as well. She's got 15. Johnson takes over in quarters 2 and 3 as the full court pressure still coming from Carbon. They nearly force another turnover. South Summit able to recover. Crystal has to hurry and cross that 10-second stripe. And a 10-second violation. Wildcats can't cross the line. Turnover against South Summit. And the Dinos have a chance to increase that lead up 16, 36-20 with 3:57 left to go in the third quarter. Inbound goes to Nelson, who'll take over floor general duties this trip down. Takes the screen by Bradford. Pick and roll action. She'll drive in, put up the scoop. Can't get it to fall. Grabs her rebound and gets that one to fall. Blythe Bradford able to do some magic as they get another steal in the full court press. Smith drives, hop, step, and a skip before bouncing out of bounds. Throws it to nobody. Turnover against the Dinos. South Summit takes it the other way. 38-20 in favor of Carbon. Inbound goes outside. They find Arnaud. Cross-court pass back to Wolstenhume. South Summit trying to learn from their mistakes, and this time baiting the foul out of their Dinos. Their first team foul of the quarter. That one's whistled against Saren Nelson, who's going to head to the bench. Harley Hope's coming in for the Dinos. Third personal foul against Saren. Only a sophomore. She's had an impact in this game defensively as well as on offense. Has 4 points as she goes to the bench. Arnaud drives down court for Carbon. South Summit swings the ball around to the right corner. They find Crystal. Navigating around the perimeter. They find Arnaud yet again. Heavy defense from the Dinos, not allowing anything. Pass tipped away by Johnson. Looked like it was soaring out of bounds, but Johnson jumps it regardless. And it stays in possession of South Summit with 16 on the shot clock. Back into Arnaud, guarded by Smith. Fakes right, drives left. Picks it up near high post. Forced to kick outside to Wolstenhume. To the right corner, they swing. They find Crystal. Good defense by Hopes. Makes it a tall task to pass out. Ball bounces off the foot of Arnaud, and the Dinos take possession. Another turnover forced by a stifling Dinos defense. They're getting stingy on the floor with 2:50 left to go in quarter number 3. Johnson kicks over to Smith on the left wing, extended to Bradford in between the circles to Johnson. Surveys around, loft pass down low, goes to Hopes. She's hit as she goes up for the turnaround shot. Foul is going to be whistled against Ruby Clegg for South Summit. 5th team foul against the Wildcats this frame. Second whistled against Clegg. Hopes heads to the line for the Dinos, a 57% shooter on the year, and she makes them pay on the first. Hopes has 6. Not normally someone you see stepping out to take threes, but earlier in the game she did just that off the inbound, rattled it home to help the Dinos claim the early lead, a lead which they haven't looked back since. A chance to put the Dinos up 20 on the second shot. It's up off the front of the rim, won't fall. Scramble for the rebound. Emma Bowman almost comes up with it, but bounces out of bounds. South Summit takes possession instead. They get it into Arnaud, facing immediate double-team pressure. Nearly throws it away before finding Wolstenhume. They push up court to Ruby Clegg, who dribbles out of bounds, but they're saying block foul comes first. They're going to call that one against Bradford. Second team foul on the Dinos. Second personal foul against Blythe. 39-20 advantage for Carbon with 2:32 left in the third quarter. South Summit in possession. They'll find Arnaud off the inbound. And the officials telling a fan he needs to get off along the baseline, needs to get back in the stands. He's having a conversation with them right now, and the South Summit fans not happy about that one. They'll throw the inbound back in. And now he's chirping the refs. Ball goes into Arnaud off the inbound. She'll drive to the left. Kicks outside, finds Wolstenhume. Kicks over to Sargent. Moving it around the perimeter. They're trying to find Arnaud, but Johnson comes immediate pressure. Continuing. Can't find any lane. 20 on the shot clock. They find an opening down low. They pass to Staple, and a smack down hits the arm, and a foul whistle against the Dinos. Third team foul against Carbon, still up 39-20 with 2:11 left. That's going to be the third personal whistled against Bradford. Inbound going for South Summit. They're able to find it into Sargent. They swing to Clegg, now to Arnaud in the right corner. Nowhere to go, spins out, puts up the floater, won't fall. Rebound Hopes, up to Smith, they push. 3-on-2, fast break. Smith says, I'll do it myself. Gets the lane and the shot to fall. Malia Smith has 8. Her first points of the quarter coming in a fast pace as South Summit trying to find an answer. Arnaud drives inside. Going to be whistled for the blocking foul against Harley Hopes. Arnaud did a good job navigating the floor, trying to find any opening she could, and she did just that. Third team foul against the Dinos. They're going to say she was in the act of shooting as she went up, so Arnaud going to be heading to the line for 2 free ones. opportunity for the first points of the second half for Arnaud after scoring 16 in the first half. Unable to get shot number 1 to fall. And a timeout whistled on the floor. We're going to take that one with them. 41-20 with a minute 45 left in quarter number 3. When we return, you're listening to Carbon High School basketball right here on 95.3 The Peak. This is where the Dinos play.
The time is now to join the JN Auto Experience. Browse quality used cars, trucks, and SUVs at our price or Huntington lots. JN Auto can even help you get financing. Get fast, expert mechanic service to keep your vehicle running smoothly. Treat your car to a spotless wash or make it shine with professional detailing. Even rent a car. All in one convenient stop. JN Auto. Driven forward.
You're listening to Carbon Dino Basketball on the Peak, KRPX 95.3 FM.
Welcome back into Carbon High School basketball here on 95.3 The Peak, as well as our viewing audience over on YouTube at Castle Country Radio Carbon. The Lady Dinos up to a 41-20 advantage over the Wildcats of South Summit as we approach the end of quarter number 3. The Dinos have come out firing on all cylinders. Bailey Johnson continues her hot second quarter as she's up to 15 in the contest. Blythe Bradford, Harley Hopes, and Sarah Nelson all contributing as well here in the third frame. Entering the timeout, Ashton Arnaud for the Wildcats was looking for her first points of the second half, as she had 16 in the first but held scoreless since. Missed the first off the rim. Second one is up off the front of the iron, can't get it to fall. Rebound Harley Hopes for the Dinos. Orth with the ball checking into the game for Carbon. Along the left wing she goes, screen set by Hopes, ball poked away, fight for it. South Summit able to recover. Arnaud tries to get to the hoop, but unable to. Poked away by Orth. Good defensive recovery by the Dinos as Arnaud gets the ball back in her hands. Kicks over to the corner, finds Ruby Clegg. She'll take the three. Skips off the side of the rim and the bottom of the backboard. And a travel whistled against the Dinos off the rebound. Orth trying to pull it down, but instead, whistle for the travel. Ball remains in possession of South Summit. They'll be inbounding on the Sea of Carbon as Clegg steps into the job. Surveying around, trying to find something in the paint. Forced to look to the outside where they find Arnaud, guarded by Smith. Aggressive defense as they kick out to Clegg. Brings it back, drives in the lane. Can't get it to fall. Rebound goes the Dinos as they get it up to Smith. Smith slings to Johnson. Picks up her dribble before kicking out to Orth. Shot fake. Drives in. Puts up the heave from the free throw line. Can't fall. Rebound. Hopes. Clean up duty on the glass. Harley Hopes has 8. 43-20 with 45 seconds and ticking here in quarter number 3. Wolstenholme forced to throw a quick inbound in to Arnaud. They're trying to force a shot clock violation or a 10-second violation. We've seen them do both in this contest as Arnaud barrels down the floor, absorbing lots of contact, and they're going to whistle a foul against the Dinos as they pick up their 5th. They played the first half of the third quarter without picking up a single foul, but able to play a little more aggressively as they go into the back half of the third quarter. Arnaud again stepping to the line in the bonus. That foul going to be called against Emma Bowman, her third. Arnaud's first shot is up. Able to get the lucky bounce off the front of the rim. She finally finds her first points of the second half as Carbon has done an excellent job here in the second frame. They've held South Summit to just 3 points. Second shot, able to connect on that as well. Arnaud's got 18. Able to break the ice. 43-22 sits the score. Smith slings over to Kayla Jones. Cross-court pass, swings to Johnson, to Smith. Shot fake, back in between the circles, passes Johnson. Reach around, kicks out to Jones. Shot from beyond the arc, hits the front of the rim before bouncing into the hands of the Wildcats. 10 seconds left. Shot clock is off. Arnaud with the shot, with the opportunity at the last shot, swings over to Clegg. Back to Arnaud. 2 on the clock. She takes the shot from 3, and a foul whistled against the Dinos. One of the cardinal mistakes in the game of basketball. Fouling a 3 with less than a second left on the clock, especially against a prolific scorer like Ashton Arnaud. Going to go to the line for 3 free ones. 43-22 sits the score with .3 sitting on the clock in quarter number 3. Arnaud a chance to cut into the deficit. Heading into the final frame. Lines up the first shot. Toilet pulls around before rolling harmlessly to the ground. Can't connect on the first. She's got 2 more from the line. A deep breath from Arnaud, trying to settle the seas. Second shot up. Can't get that one to fall as well. A mixed bag of a quarter for Arnaud, and the frustration showing on the floor. The Dinos have the Wildcats rattled. Final shot coming for Arnaud. She's able to connect on the third. 1 of 3 on that trip to the line, but puts her point total to 19. Inbound as the buzzer sounds, and we head into the fourth and final frame of action. The Dinos up 43-29. You're listening to Carbon High School basketball right here on 95.3 The Peak. This is where the Dinos play, and this is where you need to be. We'll be right back.
Welcome to Emery and Carbon Animal Health, where Dr. Jensen and his staff greet you and your pet with caring smiles. Our exam rooms are clean and inviting. Our accredited doctors offer many procedures, including examinations, surgery, dentistry, and boarding. Schedule an appointment today. 2 locations to serve you. Emery and Carbon Animal Health. Animals big and small. We care for them all.
It's fun! It's our favorite place.
Strike up family fun for everyone. Gateway Lanes. Families that play together stay together. And Gateway Lanes is your center for fun, snacks, and great food. So let Gateway Lanes do the cooking with open and league bowling year-round and Club Bowl Thursday night, 9 till 11:30, with unlimited bowling including shoes. Since 1989, Helper's Hometown Bowling Center. Gateway Lanes, South Main Street in historic Helper, and bowlhelper.com. Let's roll.
Carbon Dino basketball continues on 95.3 The Peak.
Welcome back to Carbon High School basketball right here on 95.3 The Peak, where the Dinos play. We're about to begin the fourth quarter of action with Carbon up 43-23 over the Wildcats of South Summit. A great defensive effort from the Dinos tonight as Ashton Arnaud brings the ball down court for the Wildcats. Bounce pass over to Pierce. They get it down into the paint, can't get the shot to fall. Second chance opportunity, incomplete as well, and a foul whistled against the Wildcats. We'll see who they officially call that one against. They're going to say simply out of bounds, no harm, no foul, as Sarah Nelson takes the ball down court for Carbon. Jumps to the left wing before taking a screen by Bradford. Kicks out to Johnson, who's raining down threes. Can't get that one to fall, but a scramble for the rebound comes up in favor of the Wildcats. Playing at a renewed pace after a very slow third quarter. They get the ball in the hands of Arnaud along the left wing. Takes the crossover down the pipeline. Swings over to Wollstonhume. Tries to send the bounce pass, or the pass screaming down low to Sargent, but stolen away by the Dinos. They get it in the hands of Nelson. Slings up court, finds Bowman. Her 3, pure from beyond the arc. Emma Bowman with a big 3 puts them up 46-23 with 7 minutes left in quarter number 4. Arnaud with the ball for South Summit. Dribbles to the left before swinging over to Wollstonhume. Tries to find McNulty down in the paint, but stolen away by the Dinos. Poked away. And a timeout called by Coach Blank for the Dinos. An excellent timeout call for Jordan as the score sits 46-23. The Dinos have played lights out tonight, especially on the defensive side of things. That's what's been the most impressive thing. As a full timeout called on the floor, we'll take that one with them when we return. The Dinos up 46-23 over the Wildcats of South Summit. You're listening to 95.3 The Peak, where the Dinos play.
Our home flooded when the refrigerator line broke. We felt helpless, didn't know what to do. Our neighbors told us to call On Call Restore. They really came through for us.
Serving all of southeastern Utah, they're fast and professional. 24/7 emergency services for water, fire, and mold. They even do emergency board-ups. And as a licensed insured general contractor, they do the remodeling as well. Call for a free quote, 650-1092.
Bringing you peace of mind during the worst of times. Call On Call, 650-1092.
We'll be on our way.
The Dinos play here on 95.3 FM, The Peak.
Welcome back to Carbon High School basketball here on 95.3 The Peak, where the Dinos play. Your Lady Dinos up 46-23 over the Wildcats of South Summit, entering the fourth quarter. 6:50 left on the clock as the Dinos look to put away a dominant statement victory, a win that would move them to 4-7 on the year while keeping South Summit winless in the early season. South Summit, an uphill battle for them this year after finishing fourth in the state a year ago on the 3A levels, losing several senior players to graduation, meaning that they only returned a total of 5 points per game from players as the conversation happens down at the scorer's table between Coach Blank, Coach Mapstone, and the officials. Dino ball along the baseline. 6:50 left, 46-23 advantage for Carbon. Nelson going to be floor general this trip down. Across the midcourt stripe she goes. Passes to Bradford in the high post. Hands off to Smith. A little loop around action on the cut as Malia Smith gets the shot to fall. She's got 10. Two Dinos in double digits now as Arnaud brings it the other way for South Summit. Crossover. Trying to survey the floor and find anything open. She finds an open space down the lane, passes down low to McNulty. Ball tipped out of bounds. Possession stays with South Summit. Good defense yet again by the Dinos with 22 seconds on the shot clock. Inbounding will be Ruby Clegg. On the sea of Carbon she goes, calling for action. No movement on the floor. They're forced to pass to the high post where the shot from 15 won't fall, courtesy of Tessa Sargent, but a foul whistled on the rebound against the Dinos, so it will stay in possession of South Summit, who now get a fresh shot clock. Harley Hopes checking into the contest in favor of Bradford, who just picked up her fourth personal first-team foul for the Dinos in the fourth quarter. Again, Clegg, the inbound, gets it in to Sargent. Her shot from 5 out won't fall, won't even touch backboard, as the rebound goes to Sargent, tries to dump it down low, tipped away, recovery by South Summit. Up and in it goes. Ruby Clegg with the Hakeem Olajuwon hook shot. Gets the first points on the board for South Summit in the fourth. Her first points of the ball game as well. The Dinos done a good job so far containing this South Summit offense. They've allowed only 3 players to score in the contest. Arnaud leads the way with 19. Crystal with 4. And Clegg has 2 with a chance for 3 points the old-fashioned way with 6:09 left to go in the fourth quarter. First shot is up. Rattles won't fall, and the and one opportunity squandered by South Summit. The Dinos wasting no time. They swing it up to Johnson. Dribbles to the left. Picks up her dribble, kicks out to Nelson. She'll take a 3 from another zip code. Won't fall. Rebound Hopes. Second chance opportunity. Won't fall, but she's fouled on her way up. She earns a trip to the charity stripe. First team foul whistled against South Summit. Also going to be the first personal called against Kelby Pierce, the junior, as Hopes heads to the line. She gets the first to fall, nothing but net. 9 points in the contest for Harley Hope, a chance to push it to double digits for herself on the next shot. Quick substitution coming for South Summit as well into the contest because Emma Staple in place of Emily McNulty. Hopes again toes the line. It's up. Off the front of the rim, rebound South Summit. 1 and 2 on that trip to the line for Harley. Rebound South Summit. Arnaud with the ball in her hands, faces double team pressure, kicks out to Ruby Clegg, whose 3 skips off the side of the rim, but South Summit with the offensive board. They try and go up, blocked by Hopes, who throws it up to Malia Smith. Fast break, 2-on-2, bounce pass to Bowman. whose shot is up, gets it to fall, and one for the Dinos. Emma Bowman making the fans stand up. What an effort. On the break by Bowman, she's got a chance for 3 points the old-fashioned way. She's got 5 in the contest as the Dinos claim a 51-25 advantage with 5:34 left to go in the fourth. Shot is up, off the back iron, rebound South Summit. Coach Blank calling off the Dogs, telling them to back up, keep the hands straight, don't want any fouls down the stretch. Arnaud with the ball in her hand swings over to Pierce. Out into the left corner, try to find Sargent, stolen away by the Dinos, and a scramble for it. Jump ball called. Possession in favor of Carbon. The Dinos, again, rewarded for defensive effort. As we take a quick break to tie some shoes. But now the Dinos go the other way. Nelson, point guard, this go around, crosses the midcourt stripe. Takes a screen by Hopes, kicks out to Smith. Smith's three won't fall. Rebound goes to South Summit before being poked away by Emma Bowman. Possession remains in favor of South Summit. Clegg getting a little careless along the sideline. Bowman pokes it away. South Summit having to remember the aggressive defense of Carbon is non-stop. Arnaud dribbles to the right side, loses the ball off her knee, able to pass it back outside to Pierce. To the corner, they swing to Sargent. Back in between the stripes they go. They find Clegg. To the left corner, Sargent drives inside, and a blocking foul whistled against the Dinos. Third team foul against Carbon is going to set the Wildcats up again along the baseline. Fourth personal foul against Hopes. Substitution coming for South Summit. Clegg out. J.C. Withers in. Javian Clegg in. Sends the bounce pass down to the right low block where they get an easy up and in shot courtesy of Tessa Sargent, her first points of the contest. Up to Johnson. She'll drive in. Little fancy finish. Switching hands. Hit him with the jelly. Johnson has 17. With 4:25 left to go, it's 43-27 in favor of the Dinos. They move the ball around the perimeter, and a travel violation called against South Summit. Sargent a little too excited, and that'll set the Dinos up along the bench of the Wildcats with 4:21 left to go, up 53-27. Nelson brings it over to Smith. Ball poked away, able to recover. Drives to the free throw line. Before passing down to Hopes, turnaround Jay won't fall. Scramble for it. 4 Wildcats surround it before grabbing the rebound. They get it out to Arnaud. They're swinging the ball over where they find Pierce. Cross-court sling finds Sargent, drives in before trying to find the fancy bounce pass to Clegg. Goes harmlessly out of bounds, and now the Dinos take it the other way with 3:53 left to go, up 53-27. Nelson with the ball. Kicks right corner to Smith. Shot fake three, drives inside. Tries to send the bounce pass to Hope, a little too low to grasp as it goes rolling out of bounds. South Summit takes possession. Arnaud again with the ball. Dribbles to the left side. Receiving the ball after moving around in between the circles. Kick it out to the right corner. They find Sargent. She'll drive along the baseline. Put up the floater. Won't fall. Rebound goes South Summit as a pileup on the floor. Hopes goes straight up. Gets the block. Slings it up court. Finds Nelson. Able to slow down the pace. She'll instead sling it up to Smith. Rotating around. Kicks outside. Finds Bowman. Takes the three. Off the back iron. Won't fall. Scramble for the rebound. Johnson grabbing her face a little bit, takes some contact as South Summit comes up with the rebound. Inside the final 3 minutes now as Arnaud kicks it out to the left corner to Pierce, whose three won't fall. Fight for the rebound, jump ball, favor of South Summit, going to stay on this side of the floor. 2 substitutions coming in for South Summit as we see Sarah Duke and Jenna Sargent enter the contest. Hockey line change substitution coming for the Dinos. Riley Butler, Natalie Cartwright, Chrissy Jones, Taylor Orth, and Kayla Jones onto the floor for Carbon. Inbound this go-around will go to Sargent. Bounce pass down low. They try and find Duke. Instead, they'll kick out to Jenna Sargent, unable to get it to fall. Rebound goes to the Dinos. Orth in between the circles, goes opposite of screen, has the ball ripped away, but lots of contact on the hand, going to be whistled against South Summit. Third team foul against the Wildcats with 2:41 left to go in the fourth. Second personal called against Kelby Pierce. Inbound goes to the Dinos. Orth sets up the offense. She has the screen from Cartwright. She'll take it to the right side, passes over to Butler. Sends the bounce pass down low, trying to find Jones, unable to do so. South Summit instead running along it, tiptoeing with a backcourt violation, but they're able to cross it. As driving inside is Sarah Duke. Quick kick out to Javian Clegg. Has the ball blocked away, but they're whistling a foul against the Dinos, going to be called against Natalie Cartwright. Fourth team foul for the Dinos, shooting foul. First foul whistled against Cartwright. That sends Clegg to the line. Javian Clegg's first shot up, rattles around and gets the lucky bounce. Another substitution coming in for the Wildcats. Sargent out of the contest. Into the game comes Kylie McKee, the freshman. For the final 2:17, shot up and in for Javian Clegg. Carbon High getting the deep bench players involved in the contest. They swing over to Cartwright. She drives in, puts up the shot, gets the roll up and in for Natalie. She's got two and builds the lead to 55-29. South Summit drives down the floor. Ball nearly poked away. Able to recover it is Crystal. Slings down low where they find McKee. Forced back in between the circles. They kick it to Duke. Out to the right wing. A deep, deep shot by Pierce. Goes high off the backboard before being rebounded by the Dinos. Orth takes it down the floor. Slowing the pace down just a little bit. They find Cartwright. Swings over to Chrissy Jones. She'll drive in. Goes up strong with the left and gets it to fall. Chrissy Jones with her first points of the contest as the Dinos continue to build. 57-29 with a minute 20 and ticking. Substitutions coming into the contest. We see Maddie Barlow coming in for Orth for the Dinos. Brielle Smith comes into the game for South Summit as well. The Wildcats inbound the ball to Jenna Sargent. Dribbles to the right wing, faces double team pressure. Loss over the top to Tessa Sargent. Shot rattles, won't fall. Rebound goes Carbon as Cartwright takes it down the floor in between the circles. Lets the offense set up before kicking it out to Chrissy Jones. Kicks out to Kayla. Kayla's three. Off the back of the rim, won't fall. Rebound Cartwright. They swing it around. Jones able to come up with it. She'll take a second chance three. Off the back iron. Won't get that one to fall either. Still 57-29 with 45 seconds left. Full court press still in effect. Coach Blank calls them off as South Summit charges down floor. Sends the loft pass to the right corner to Clegg, who puts the quick pull-up three. Off the back iron. Won't fall. Rebound Carbon. Coach Blank telling them to slow down. They don't listen as the ball loose and on the floor. Scramble for it. Stolen away again by the Dinos. A chaotic few seconds as Coach Blank tells them to slow down the pace. They get it to Cartwright on the right wing. Behind the back. Nearly gets the crossover. I like the intensity from both sides still, despite the clock ticking down. Shot clock off inside the final five as Butler will hold it to close out the contest. And the Dinos move to 4-7 on the year with the empathetic win over the Wildcats of South Summit, 57-29. What a showing from Carbon in that final frame, blanking the Wildcats to secure this victory, outscoring them 14-0. Now, both times Carbon has played South Summit, we've seen a scoreless quarter from the Wildcats, but very different results coming in each game. 72-55 on the boys' side, but the girls coming away with the 57-29 victory here at home over South Summit. Again, moving to 4-7 on the season. South Summit falls to 0-6. We'll take a quick break here on 95.3 The Peak, but then we'll be back with the Eastern Utah Community Credit Union postgame show, where we're going to be talking talking to some players and hopefully Coach Blank as well. You're watching Carbon High Basketball on 95.3 The Peak and Castle Country Radio Carbon on YouTube. We will be right back.
Show your school spirit and support local high schools with the new Eastern Utah Community Credit Union debit and credit cards. Featuring designs for Carbon, Emory, and Grand High School, these cards let you carry a piece of your school's pride wherever you go. Plus, to make purchasing easier, Eastern Utah Community Credit Union has added the convenience of tap-to-pay and compatibility with major mobile wallets. Pick up your school spirit card today at any of the Eastern Utah Community Credit Union branches.
Golfers, get ready for year-round fun at Swing and Swear. Step into the action with over 43,000 world-class courses to choose from. No passport required. Rain or shine, you can tee off indoors. Multiple bays, club rentals, tables, chairs, and concessions. It's the perfect spot to practice your game, celebrate with friends, or spend time with family. From the serious golfer to first-timers, everyone is welcome to join the fun. Swing and Swear, located just off Ridge Road. Call 299-6200 to schedule a tee time today.
What the Utah Miners Hospital offers is relatively unique in the country to help take care of people who have really dedicated their careers, their lives to hard work.
I have torn rotator cuffs in my shoulders. Honestly, I don't remember everything I've had done. I think I've had to wait 10 minutes one time. It's amazing that there's a fund out there. You have no medical bills.
If you're ready and you need us, please give us a call. We're happy to help.
Hi, I'm Mackenzie Smith. After 6 years as a nurse, I've learned that sometimes our bodies just need a little extra support. That's what IV therapy can do. It can help you bounce back quicker after an illness, recover faster after a workout, ease migraines, and even improve focus and energy. Think of it as giving your body a direct line to the hydration and nutrients it needs to feel its best. I'd love to help you find the right blend for your goals. Reach out to me on Facebook or Instagram at wellness.iv.utah.
At A Perfect Smile, they specialize in transforming your smile with precision and care. From porcelain veneers and dental implants to orthodontics, crowns, and bridges, their expertise covers every aspect of general and cosmetic dentistry. Dr. Jackson and his team are here to address even the most challenging dental concerns, helping you achieve a smile you'll love. Ready for a smile makeover? Call A Perfect Smile today, 637-2100, to schedule an appointment.
Show your school spirit and support local high schools with the new Eastern Utah Community Credit Union debit and credit cards. Featuring designs for Carbon, Emory, and Grand High School, these cards let you carry a piece of your school's pride wherever you go. Plus, to make purchasing easier, Eastern Utah Community Credit Union has added the convenience of tap-to-pay and compatibility with major mobile wallets. Pick up your school spirit card today at any of the Eastern Utah Community Credit Union branches.
The Dinos play here on 95.3 FM, The Peak.
Welcome back into Carbon High School basketball here on 95.3 The Peak. This is where the Dinos play, and this is where you need to be. The Dinos able to move it to 4-7 on the season with a 57-29 victory over the Wildcats of South Summit. A great game from start to finish for Carbon High. As looking at scoring by quarter after one, it was a close affair, 11-7. Sat the score in favor of the Dinos. Moving to quarter number two, we saw some offensive fireworks from the Dinos, namely from Bailey Johnson for the Dinos as they outscore the Wildcats 18-11 in that frame. Bailey Johnson puts up 11 of that 18. Over in the third quarter, the dominance continued. 43-29 sat the score entering the final frame. The Dinos again winning that frame 14-11, and then really putting their foot on the gas in the final frame, winning it 57-29, blanking the Wildcats in the fourth quarter. Looking at scoring by individual, starting with South Summit, Javian Clegg had 2 points in the contest. Ashton Arnault led all scorers in the game with 19. Sydney Crystal had 4. Ruby Clegg had 2, and Tessa Sargent had 2 as well. As the lights go out here in Jurassic Park. Worry not, though. We're going to continue along with the Eastern Utah Community Credit Union post-game show. Arnault was an interesting case. Dominant in the first half. Hard to stop. as she put up 16 in that first half of action. What a showing from Arnaud. Unfortunately held quiet in the second quarter as they continue just their dominance. Looking at scoring by individuals for Carbon: Emma Bowman with 5, Natalie Cartwright with 2, Sarah Nelson with 4, Chrissy Jones with 2, Taylor Orth with 2, Malia Smith with 10, Bailey Johnson with 17, and Blythe Bradford with 6, and Harley Hopes, who will be joining us in a moment in the Sutherland's broadcast booth, with 9. We'll take a quick break here on 95.3 The Peak and be back with more of the Eastern Utah Community Credit Union postgame show. You're listening to 95.3 The Peak. This is where the Dinos play.
Show your school spirit and support local high schools with the new Eastern Utah Community Credit Union debit and credit cards. Featuring designs for Carbon, Emory, and Grand High School, these cards let you carry a piece of your school's pride wherever you go. Plus, to make purchasing easier, Eastern Utah Community Credit Union has added the convenience of tap-to-pay and compatibility with major mobile wallets. Pick up your school spirit card today at any of the Eastern Utah Community Credit Union branches.
You're listening to Carbon Dino Basketball on the Peak, KRPX 95.3 FM.
Welcome back into the Eastern Utah Community Credit Union postgame show here on 95.3 The Peak. Again, the Lady Dinos coming away with the 57-29 victory over the Wildcats of South Summit. Now joining us now in the Sutherland's broadcast booth is Harley Hopes. Harley, always a pleasure. Thanks for taking the time to come talk to us. We really appreciate it.
Anytime.
Now, you had a fantastic game coming off the bench, and you had an immediate impact, a quick second chance opportunity under the basket, and then you did something we haven't seen you do very often. You hit that rattle around 3 in the left corner. What was your mindset coming into this game off the bench?
Well, all I can do is play my best no matter when I start, so you just play your hardest and keep the team good.
And you really showed that on the floor today. I mean, you were a leader out there, defensively, offensively. It felt like things were kind of flowing through you at times, especially on the defensive side of things. It's a tall task in the full court press to be that last line of defense as you go into the full court. What's it like standing back there as you feel those players get closer and closer to you from South Summit?
Well, there's a lot of team trust in this because a lot of the times there's 2 people that I have to guard, and I have to make sure that I get on that person with the ball, but I have to trust my teammates to get back and get that second person.
You know, everyone always says point guard's the hardest position. I'd argue it's the center and the power forward. You have so much to manage. You're trying to navigate the offense, the defense. You're trying to keep things in control. It's always a tall task. How do you manage to do it outside of that trust?
You just stay calm, because if your brain gets all fuzzy and confused, then you're not going to play as well as you think you are.
Yeah, now 9 points total in the contest. We see you make your first shot coming into the game almost immediately. What's it like, your mentality like after seeing that first shot fall in? Are you just hungry to go for more?
I just hope my team does well, because if I score, I score, but I can do other things on the court too.
I think that's what makes you so versatile, is you are a bit of a Swiss Army knife down there. I mean, we've seen you shoot, we've seen you rebound, we've seen you pass, we've seen you block. You do it so much on the floor. You play a very vocal role down there, and I think it's always impressive to see. Defensively, one of the hardest things for a center to do is to remember to go straight up. That's something that I feel like every player in the high school level has struggled with, but you did an excellent job of that tonight. How do you remind yourself on the floor to not swing that arm down, as satisfying as it is to send that ball soaring into the third row?
Well, I've had a few games where I found out already, so, I practice.
Practice does make perfect. And as you kind of look at the rest of this non-region slate, a few tough tests coming up for you. How are you guys preparing for this upcoming road schedule?
Just lots of time on the court.
Yeah, it's that court time that really does make you better, especially when you're getting game reps. Nothing can really replicate those. You can run in practice, you can take on your teammates, but it feels like nothing really replicates the action. Am I correct in that?
Yeah, a lot of it comes down to confidence and remembering what you do in practice, because it's just the same thing with different people.
Now, you and I talked about this during the preseason and right before game number 1 against San Juan. You're one of 3 senior leaders on this squad. What's it like trying to guide this group of underclassmen to hard-fought victories like this one tonight?
Just staying vocal, because if you're communicating with your team, then they know what you want and they know how to react to things.
And the key part there is that reaction that the players have, because sometimes you might take it negatively. No one likes getting yelled at, but in the game of basketball, sometimes you need to rip into your teammate just a little bit, and you guys have that fine balance on the court. Now, Harley, before we let you go, is there anything you want to leave Dino Nation off with?
Thanks for coming to support. We had a lot of support tonight, and I'm appreciative of it.
Well, Harley, we appreciate you and the team for all you're doing for our community. It's always a pleasure to have you up here in the booth. Thanks again.
Thank you.
Again, Harley Hope's joining us in the Sutherland's broadcast booth as the Dinos win 57-29 against the Wildcats of South Summit. Hopes plays a key role in that with 9 points on the evening, several rebounds, and a few key blocks. We'll take another quick break here on the Eastern Utah Community Credit Union postgame show and be right back with more right here on 95.3 The Peak. This is where the Dinos play.
Show your school spirit and support local high schools with the new Eastern Utah Community Credit Union debit and credit cards. Featuring designs for Carbon, Emory, and Grand High School, these cards let you carry a piece of your school's pride wherever you go. Plus, to make purchasing easier, Eastern Utah Community Credit Union has added the convenience of tap-to-pay and compatibility with major mobile wallets. Pick up your school spirit card today at any of the Eastern Utah Community Credit Union branches.
Imagine a smooth, hassle-free journey to the front door of your new home with the Driggs Mortgage Team guiding you every step of the way. Hi, this is Greg Driggs. Our seasoned experts understand the ins and outs of home financing and refinancing. Come visit us at our new permanent address, 8 East Main in Price, where we plan to be a staple for years to come. Start your journey today. Call 801-427-3577. The Driggs Mortgage Team, NMLS number 272076, Equal Housing Opportunity. Driggs Mortgage Team is a DBA of Premier Mortgage Resources, LLC, NMLS 1169.
Carbon Dino basketball continues on 95.3 The Peak.
Welcome back into the Eastern Utah Community Credit Union postgame show right here on 95.3 The Peak. This is where the Dinos play. And joining us now in the Sutherland's broadcast booth, we are joined by Bailey Johnson. Bailey, always a pleasure to talk to you. Thanks for taking the time to come talk to us.
Oh, yeah, it's good talking to you, Aiden.
And you had a spectacular game today, Bailey. We'll get into the nitty-gritty in a second, but how do you feel coming fresh off that hard-fought win?
Oh, I feel good. It's good to get our get back. We lost to them in the playoffs last year, so it's good to beat them up by this bad this year.
And that's something we were talking about in the pregame. That's what made this matchup so intriguing, was that playoff showdown last year. A heartbreaking double overtime finish. Like you said, very good to get your get back against them. And looking at you personally, you had a dominant game today. Starting in the second quarter, you pour in 11 points in that frame. Once you saw the ball go into the basket, what was your mentality going into the rest of the contest?
Oh, it just feels good. Once you see that ball go through that hoop, you just know that you're there and you can just keep doing that.
And you were definitely in that zone, a flow state, as people are starting to call it.
Yeah.
Now, you had 17 total in the game, but what really impressed me outside of your scoring today was your defense, namely against Ashton Arnaud. She had 16 in the first half. You only allowed 3 points from her in the second. What was the game plan going into that second half defensively?
Well, we went into halftime and our coaches said she has 16 on us. We should have stopped her in the second quarter. So I'm like, okay, we got to stop her in the third quarter now. She can't get any more.
Yeah, and you really did shut her down. And speaking of shutdown defense, you blanked the Wildcats in that fourth quarter, outscoring them 14-2-0. How does it feel seeing that zero on the other side of the scorer sheet?
It feels so good. Like last year, we were so sad. It was heartbreaking. But this year, it's just we're so happy now, and it's just a great change of emotion.
Yeah, we were talking about it with Harley a second ago. You're one of 3 senior leaders on this squad, and that's a tall task for a group of underclassmen. How do you keep all of these freshmen and sophomore in check during practice and during games?
Oh, they just have respect for us. They came in here and they weren't goofing around. They just know that we're ready to work and we're going to help them work. So.
Now, as you look at the rest of the preseason slate, a lot of road games coming up for you guys. How are you guys preparing for this upcoming stretch?
We just got to know that it's going to be tiring, but we got to work at it. We got to work at it like we did this game, and we just got to keep going for each and every one of those games.
And then region starting almost immediately right at the turn of the new year. Are there any matchups you're particularly looking forward to once region play rolls around?
Oh, senior night here against Emory, that's going to be so exciting.
Oh, that is going to be jumping in here. It's one of the loudest environments I've ever seen in a high school basketball game. I'm going to be honest, I grew up in Emory, but I really like Carbon's gym a lot more. You guys have a lot better environment here than the Spartans do over there, so I'm excited for that matchup as well.
Oh, yeah.
Now, Bailey, before we let you go, is there anything you want to leave Dino Nation off with?
I just want to say thank you for everybody coming out and supporting. We appreciate your cheering, and just keep coming out watching us take dubs.
And I couldn't say it better myself. Keep watching this talented young group of girls on the court. Bailey, always a pleasure. Thanks for joining us here in the Sutherland broadcast booth. We're going to be joined now by head coach of the Carbon Dinos, Jordan Blank, joining us up here in the booth. Coach Blank, it's always a pleasure to have you up here. Thanks for taking the time to come talk to us. We really appreciate it.
Hey, thank you. I appreciate it. And thanks for coming out and doing this. It's a lot of work for you guys, but the girls love it. The community loves it, so thank you.
Oh, it's absolutely worth it following along these very talented athletes. Now, this game, a bit personal. I was talking to some of those players last year, falling in that heartbreaking second round in the playoffs in double overtime. This year, definitely getting your get back against the Wildcats.
Oh, absolutely. This was actually the first preseason game I got on our schedule. I wanted this. Our girls wanted this, and so. And South Summit, they're a great team. Matt does a great job with his program. He's got a lot of young girls coming up, and I'm excited to see what he does. But I mean, it's always a good win when you can get somebody back the previous year there.
Yeah, and they're finding themselves in a very similar situation to what we do here at Carbon. Very young teams taking the court, but tonight you had a lot of firepower behind you. Harley Hopes and Bailey Johnson, as well as Malia Smith, just dominant on the offensive side of things. A great showing from them.
Oh, absolutely. And that was the first thing we kind of just told them. We were quick in there, but we just told them, hey, that was a team win, and that's what we want. I mean, we want 3 girls, double digits, everybody else with 6 or 8, and filling in the stat sheets with deflection steals. And it was fun to talk to them before the game and say, hey, how are you going to affect this game? And it's fun to hear every single girl say 3 things, and none of them are points. So they know that they can affect the game in so many other ways, and they're doing a great job with that.
Yeah, 9 players in the scoring column tonight, but so many others having an impact on the flow of this game. That full court press you guys run was relentless tonight. That's something that you've been using throughout the season, but tonight it felt just extra crisp.
Oh, it did. And our girls are starting to figure out what their role is and who does what, and the communication's just getting better, more crisp. And so, every day we got to come in and have a goal of getting better every single day. And that's one thing our girls are great at. They come in with a lot of high energy and push every single day, and it's exciting to see.
Now, someone that pushed your girls tonight was Ashton Arno, the junior for South Summit. She had one heck of a first half, 16 points, but then you guys came out, you held her to just 3 in the second. What was the message to the team in the locker room at the half?
Well, first off, credit to her, credit to South Summit. She's an incredible athlete, and to come in and score that many in the first half, kudos to her. But, I mean, that was our halftime adjustment is, I didn't like our man because she was just beating us to the basket, doing things, getting fouls. And so we had to make that adjustment, go to the zone. But that's kind of scary when you leave a shooter out in a zone and what's going to happen. So our girls came in, they talked well, and they knew where she was the whole time and kind of took pride in themselves and hey, we can't let this girl go off again. And I mean, what we held her to the second half there. We did it. Yeah, we did a great job holding her 3 points the second half, but I mean, kudos to her for us to have to go into halftime and make a big adjustment, and she played tremendously.
No, she did, and that's one player I'm sure if you book South Summit next year, you're going to have an eye on, being only a junior, a very young and talented player. But continuing on the theme of defense, you look at scoring by quarter. You win every frame of this contest, but that fourth one especially stands out. You blank the Wildcats 14-0. As a coach, how does it feel seeing that 0 on the other side of the score sheet?
I love it. And I mean, we've had it to us this year where we've been in the zeros, and it's hard, it's frustrating, you want to pull your hair out, and so to kind of return the favor finally, oh my goodness, it feels great. And you can tell our girls were super excited to play well and to work as a team, and that's our biggest thing that we preach to them. If we can be a team, we're going to be very successful because we're just so deep. We have a lot of different roles, a lot of different abilities with these girls, and if they can come in and do that, we're going to be great.
And I love that team mentality that you're instilling, and it shows in each game. I mean, you never see 2 players really twice in a row leading the team in scoring. It's whoever has the hot hand that night, and it's a very unselfish play by the girls on the court to find that hot hand each and every game.
Oh, absolutely, and they're finally seeing the cutters, seeing those things, being put in that position and knowing, okay, this is my role. Now I might get the double team, but now I've got the kick out. And so if we can continue to do that, we're going to be great. And we just got to keep rolling and keep the momentum going into region play.
Yeah, and looking at this upcoming stretch leading to the turn of the new year and the start of region play, a lot of road games coming up for you guys. How are you preparing for this upcoming stretch as a coaching staff?
It's just, I like road games because it just gets our girls a little bit longer together, and they're on a bus, and generally buses aren't comfortable, and so if you can make girls uncomfortable, in different situations, it's amazing the growth that happens. And so we can do that on a bus, we can do that on the gym, we can do that in any sort of way possible. But if we get uncomfortable and get used to that feeling, and then all of a sudden we're going to be so much better. And so that's what these girls are doing.
Yeah, the camaraderie that you build up on those road trips is something that sticks with you far beyond the game of basketball. You'll always remember those.
Oh, absolutely. And they love, I mean, when we go stay in a hotel, oh man, it's great for them. It's stressful for me, but you know what? If we can go and be a team after, that's great. I mean, I told them at one point I was a little bit worried about what we were going to do scoring wise, and so I finally just said, hey, if we hit 67 points, because that's the new thing, right, with 67. So told him, hey, we hit 67 points, like, you'll shave my head. And we got close, and we're getting there. Our numbers are getting there. So heck, and next time you see me, I might be bald after this road trip. So
10 points away tonight. That's a little concerning for you. You got a nice head of hair on you. That's scary.
It is scary, but you know what? I guess I got to join in on the team camaraderie there and take one for the team, I guess.
That's very true. Now, Coach, before we let you go celebrate this win, anything you want to leave us off with?
Once again, thank you. Thank you for the support. Thank you for everything. Carbon Nation is great. I'm so thankful to be a Dino. These girls have a great blessing of being a Dino and to always remember those memories that they have. So thank you.
As a former Spartan, I have to admit, you guys are definitely winning me over here. Coach Blank, always a pleasure. Thanks for taking the time to come talk to us. We really appreciate it.
Hey, you'll be a Dino. I've got a couple shirts for you now.
Again, Coach
thank you.
Coach Jordan Blank joining us in the Sutherland's broadcast booth as the Dinos come away with the 57-29 victory over the Wildcats of South Summit. And that's going to do it for us here at South Summit, or at Carbon High School. The Dinos winning 57-29 and moving to 4-7 on the year. We hope you enjoyed this broadcast as much as we enjoyed bringing it to you. And signing off for all of us here at KRPX